And we are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Friday night here at Bimji Streams. It's number 17, Geeks at Sea this time, and I am joined by Team Cendol, Rikka, and Kyandy. Say hi to everyone, Rikka and Kyandy. You guys can talk, you know that, right?
Hello. Hello.
Right, so like everyone's really nervous this night, and it's also a very weird and special night for this channel because I've been doing it consecutively for like every 2 weeks, And but this is a very special case where I had to bring forward. Oh my God, is that wine?
Oh, wow.
Someone's
Wow.
classy.
Yeah. Casually drinking.
Yeah, I mean,
Just having like a bottle water.
don't worry. This stream is for like 18 ups. Like I've already flagged the stream as 18 up, so like alcohol and like cursing or whatever else there is totally gonna go like fly fine by me, right? So anyways, so as I was saying, so usually I only do one of these segments every 2 weeks, but as it turns out, your schedule is a little tied up. So we brought it forward to specifically be able to do it on the 4th tonight. Otherwise, we've been on the 11th and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys very much for making the time. So yeah, so for anyone who's first time joining us here tonight, my name is Bimji, aka Jared. And I routinely do this segment where I basically call in people that has been around the industry for a while, who has been involved in different ways, either like someone who's been attending events for like 20 years, or an organizer that's been there since like day one of Comic Fiesta and stuff like that, you know? Like, by the way, which was actually, in fact, if anything, was the premise of the starting of the show. So yeah, so and all that kind of stuff. So I get these people who come in here and talk about their times, how they get started and everything, share about, you know, how they've seen the scene evolve and grow, and of course their own engagements with it. So all of this is a lot of storytelling. So with that in mind, I want to go into my two big disclaimers, especially for those who are joining us here first time tonight. Disclaimer number one. Everything we're going to be sharing here, what Rikka is going to be sharing, what Kyandy is going to be sharing, are all very, very personal stories. All right, the stories that they're going to be sharing, so it's going to come in from their personal views. Keep in mind that this is going to be, basically everyone's going to be a flawed narrator of their own lives. Everything's going to be based off their own memories. So sometimes some things can be wrong. I can't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. Don't ask me what the weather was like 10 years ago when XYZ event happened. I only remember the event happened, nothing else, right? So we're never going to be 100% precise. Take everything we say with a huge pinch of salt, all right? So that's number one. Number two, you're also going to hear through some of these conversations stories from behind the scenes and times when we are working with or for certain organizations. I, for one, was like highly involved with Comic Fiesta back in the day. So if you hear stories from me about talking about Comic Fiesta and all that, it's going to sound as though like I was making a lot of calls. I want you to keep in mind that like when we share stories like this, these are all personal perspectives. They should not be taken as perspectives or opinions or basically the policies of the organizations that we were involved in. If you have been in any organization at all, you will know that the opinions of the individuals are not always reflected in the larger policies of the entire organization. All right, so keep that in mind. So now all those like standard TNCs out of the way, let's get to it. Okay.
Good night.
I am so like I've been doing, by the way, just as a side note, I've done that disclaimer countless times already at this point, like more than 17 times, because I've done it and redone it a number of times as well, and I have never been consistent about it.
Okay, it's okay, as long as it's out there, you know.
I know, right?
Um,
Well, okay, then let's get to it. Let's get right to the show. For those who don't know, I'm a little bit on the older side. I was actually talking to Rikka and Kyandy, like we were talking, like planning on what we're going to be talking about today and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I was very amused by is like I was judging competitions well ahead before you guys even started this, being like jumping into the scene. So let's get right deeper into that and talk about like how you guys first started. It's a standard question here in this show. Like, what was your first like touch of geekdom? What was your first sort of ACG geeky nerdy thing that you got really into? Let's start with Rikka, you first, and I'll swap over to Kyandy next time and stuff like that. All right, so let's start with you first, Rikka.
I was just getting comfortable. I think like the first cosplay was like very, very, very long ago. I think about 11 or 12 years ago now. I think pretty much that kind of timeline. And I think then I got into cosplay because I really like to watch anime.
What's your
And
first anime?
first anime,
Yeah.
I think it was Digimon. Yeah.
Was it first gen Digimon? Like, was it love at first sight kind of thing?
Nah, for me, Digimon was okay. Like, the first one lah. My favorite is actually Digimon Tamers out of the Digimon series. So like when I watched the first one, it was okay for me, you know. So like that didn't get me into cosplaying. I was just like, oh, that's very nice. But I think like the anime that made an impact was Samurai X, Vendred, and Fate Stay Night. Yeah, until now, Vendred is still one of my cos plans, but I've never gotten around to do it because like there's no one who exists who knows Vendred anymore, and yeah. I think Kyandy would be okay, but I'm pretty sure we want to do the same character. So like yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so I think like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rikka. You want to go ahead, finish off?
okay, yeah. So like from there like pretty much I got to know friends who got me into cosplay. Yeah, I think like every event asks me this question, so I'm gonna skip it and then I pass it to Kyandy. It's not boring. Okay,
It's not. Okay, so I like, okay, so I'm going to share a little bit extra on that one afterwards, but like we'll come back to that because it's everything to do with Vendred. But like Kyandy, let's go with you first. Let's go with you first.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say Doraemon, but that doesn't really count, right? Because you know when you're young and then you're just reading manga of Doraemons.
Of course it counts. So just as a point of reference, right? Like once again, I've done this show for like 17 sessions already. This is the 17th one. And like one of the most common stories I hear, especially amongst the Chinese-speaking crowd, right, actually was people starting like their journey, like their first introduction to comics, right, was Lao Fu Zi, like Old Master Q.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's so
it's exactly
ancient.
right. I know, right? And it's always about like them reading the comics when they like were at a salon with like their parents or their grandparents who took them to like to the hairdressers, and then they nothing to do, simply like take out a stack of books and start reading, and then you know that's their first touch in the comics. So you wouldn't be the first.
Yeah. I guess it's similar. It's similar. Like Doraemon was something that I think my parents would think is like a okay manga for a kid. But after that, I did watch Digimon. I also started like with Digimon narrating, but actually my favorite is the first adventure. It's not Tamers, so very different from Rikka. To me, the adventure make more impression than Tamers.
Butterfly all the way, right?
Yeah, butterfly all the way.
Butterfly all the way.
Then I think what really makes me want to cosplay is Naruto. I think my first character that I really want to cos is actually Sakura, and I don't know why until now I haven't cos Sakura also.
I like Sakura too.
Okay, so like so I wanted to bring up like Rikka. I think Rikka, I can't hear you. Oh wait, sorry. I think it was a delay on my side. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So okay, I need to do something about something here. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm so sorry. How do I do this? Can I do this? Oh yes, I can. Okay, no, because I wanted to do something that. So here's a little behind the scenes thing, and I'm perfectly fine sharing this even live, right? Like if you ever needed proof that this is live, right?
Okay. Okay.
YouTube has like I think like a 5-second delay.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that when that 5-second delay happens, I switch between the two screens, and I'm like, my brain has misfires as which one I should be looking at.
Oh, okay. Oh, no wonder.
So I was like, I need to cover the other screen so that like I stop staring at it. And it's like, oh god. Anyway, so I was going to share a little bit about Vendred. I've actually met, I think at the time, one of the producers from the company.
Ooh.
The animation company.
Like they don't like remake it because like there's so many anime that gets remade like recently lah.
So
and I'm just like, oh, when's Vendred gonna come?
So the sad thing is that if you went and check, right, and I can be mistaken on this one. So if anyone knows better, or if anyone has the wiki open, please fact check me on this one. But one interesting thing is that like Vendred is one of those old school animes that, if I'm not mistaken, is owned by the studio. That means the IP is owned by the studio itself. So, and the animation studio themselves, right, is pretty small. So I think what happened is that like right now, when your studios are like trying to find like the best way for studios to make make a living, right, is if you take the work from other people, meaning that if someone pays you to animate something else.
Right.
So then if you're working on your own projects, that project usually like is really out of your own pocket kind of thing, you know what I mean? So because that is the case, right, I think for the studio that owns Vendred, it might be safer for them to like continue doing outsourced work and animating for other things and all that kind of stuff. That's why it might be a bit difficult to see Vendred come back for a while.
I see.
Not anytime soon, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, ideally, it's very interesting because I don't think Vendred actually has as big an international audience as like what we think. But the thing is,
I don't think so as well. Because I think like, back then, during the same age, there was also Champlu.
Exactly.
And then Champlu was very, very popular, like overseas and everything, but not Vendred.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Vendred never got, I don't think Vendred got the same external distribution as Champlu. And,
Okay.
Yeah, and I think like one of the reasons why we know Vendred as much as we do, right, is because he was on AXN.
Yes, I watched it on AXN.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay, yeah, coming back. So let's talk a little bit. So that's how you sorry, my brain's just farting again. So how did you guys get like started like cosplaying together? Like, tell me about that side of the journey. Because Kyandy, you said sorry, I don't think we got to that one just now where your first introduction was Doraemon. Your first anime after that really got into you was like Digimon Adventures. Like, what was the first cosplay you got into, like, and how do you guys like started?
Right. So I think back then I wanted to cosplay a lot of characters other than Sakura. Sakura just inspiration, but so I think one thing is I know Rikka from my college, and she's the only one that cosplays. So I've been wanted to cosplay for so long. So I reached out to her. I just reached out to her, say that I want to cosplay.
Yeah, for real though.
How was it for you, Rikka? Like it's like some rando kohai comes up knocking to you and go like, "Hey, you're a cosplayer, right?"
It's not like kohai, okay? We're the same age. Well, to be honest, like we were in the same college, like so we were actually like acquaintances before we actually started cosplaying. Like we had some mutual friends, but we never really spoke to each other. So then when we further studied in UK, it's very funny actually. I think our first cosplay together was in UK, and I think Kyandy's first cosplay is in UK as well. So when she reached out to me, then I was like, back then, everyone's very young, so like we don't really care much. I was like, it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I can bring a stranger around, into my bed. That's okay. We stayed together in a hotel.
Yeah.
It's not just her.
Yeah, this is a safe space.
This is a what? Sorry?
This is a safe space. I'm not going to judge anything you girls do.
No, but guys, don't like, to everyone who's actually listening to this podcast, like, don't do this. You should get to know your friends better before you bring them into your private space, okay? Just saying. Safety reasons, right? Okay. But yeah, and then we actually got a few cosplayer friends who were in the UK as well, and we actually went to a con together. So it was back then actually we really didn't know each other well, like none of us, so it was just very random. But that's how we got together for the first time lah, and it was nice lah. We were chill, we just hang around. Yeah,
I still remember her. She has sore throat that I have 3 days never heard like how she sounds like. She just sounded like
well, I don't remember.
I remember you have sore throat, and then I'm like, I don't even remember how you sound like for like a while until, like in UK we only get together during like the holidays. So only the next holiday I was like, oh, this is how she sound like.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were sick, but it's so funny.
I have to ask then, was that where this picture was taken?
Yeah. It's this picture. Yeah.
So this was in the UK itself then.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
London MCM.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to excuse me on this one. So like this was very fascinating for me because when you first handed me this picture, right? And I chose it because I thought like, hey, it's a really nice picture of the two of you guys. I didn't know the age of the picture. And I definitely did not know that this was your first. Because I couldn't tell that this was your first.
Oh.
I really received a lot of help from Rikka because the first thing I asked, what can I cos? Should I cos Vampire Knight? And then she was like, for first time cosplayer, I don't think it's a good idea.
I did. I said that. I remember.
Yeah. You told me like because it's JK, you will look like just a normal person with a costume on. Which actually I agree.
Yeah, it's true. Vampire Knight, Yeah, and I'm not fan, but okay. I'm not fan of the series.
Not a fan of the incest.
It's fan. Okay.
Okay, so apparently my mic is having some issues. Sorry,
okay.
a little bit about that. It can be a problem where my filters are acting up again. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think you can speak on the mic. I'm not sure if it helps.
No. It probably is. It probably is. The instant I start moving a little bit more, like if I keep my mic really close to myself, yeah, it's fine. If I keep my mic really close to myself and speak in a very even tone, it's usually a lot easier for everybody. But once I get a little bit more excited and I start doing a lot of giggly sounds and stuff like that, you're going to hear a lot of weird, awkward, like cuts, mostly because the mic thinks that it's noise, and it's like, oh, I probably should mute this thing, that kind of thing. This is what happens when you depend too much on technology. It's also possible there's user error, so...
I choose. What's that called? I'm not a tech person, so half of the time I don't understand. I can't even find my Discord audio button.
I work too hard at this to be this bad at it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yes, guys, thank you guys very much for pointing out any audio issues. XJuju especially. Please keep the feedback coming. If you guys keep hearing issues with it, I will need to try and work harder at trying to get this fixed up. In the meanwhile, please bear with it to the best you can. I will try and not move as much. Anyways. Also, quick aside, I just want to take a quick moment. If anyone has any questions for Rikka or Kyandy, there is a link in the video description below. Please feel free to fill that up. I will check it out from time to time and slide in questions whenever I can. Worst case scenario, I'll just address most of them with them towards the end of the stream. No guarantees that your question will be addressed though, like, standard policy and all that kind of stuff. Right? All right. Anyways, oh god, coming back. So yeah, so that was definitely your first. Did the two of you guys like hit it off like right from the get go? Was it like, oh yeah, oh my god, this is definitely gonna be awesome moving forward kind of thing?
No. Just kidding. I think we were friends lah. Like we were definitely friends and we were good friends. So like it's not always just about cosplay. Like we do a lot of like daily life stuff on the side as well. I mean, if we are talking about cosplay, whether we hit it off straight away, I really like Rachel. Kyandy, you should definitely tell everyone about your first stage experience. It's like that one is really my core memory.
All right. I mean, back then, I don't know a lot of cosplayer, right? So if I want to cosplay, I'll definitely look at find Rikka, and then we continue cos for few cons. And other than not cosplaying, I also will go and find Rikka. But yeah, first stage experience, I think is back in Penang event. One of our friend was part of the organizer.
How did we decide to join the competition already?
Part of our friend is the organizer, and she be like, "Hey, join lah!" Oh.
Oh, was it like that?
Yeah. It's like, join lah, join lah. It's okay, not a lot of people. Just go out, stand very fast.
That was actually first competition also.
Yeah. But both hours.
Ours together first and
our
as well.
Yeah. It is.
Do you still remember which event was this?
CJC.
Yeah.
Oh.
The one
and
with
only-
Danny Koo.
Danny Chu.
Oh. It's close enough.
Well, what do you think of Danny Chu?
I'm not very familiar with
Yeah.
the doll side of ACG lah, so I can't really comment because I'm always just at the sideline, to be honest lah, for that lah. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are not part of the organizer. We just go there and enjoy event. So to be fair, got event, meet some people. We are happy.
That's
We are
awesome.
just innocent people.
Actually, like I was organizing back then also as well, and in all fairness, and like at least for me, Danny's event very much showed how lively the scene was like in Penang.
Oh.
So he, like, for what it's worth, his event set a stage and said, like, yeah, there's actually a lot of active like ACG, like there's an active ACG community over there in Penang. They will show up for events, they'll come in and celebrate with everybody, that kind of thing, you know? So it was always this kind of thing that became pretty, like it becomes sort of a proof of concept for other organizers. We can look at it and then go like, oh yeah, we can totally hold events here and the attendance will be pretty decent, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So yeah, I mean, you girls probably wouldn't know this, but like one of the weirdly nerve-wracking and scary thing about being an organizer, and especially if you want to try and organize in a state or in a town that you're not familiar with. And for anyone who's listening who's not familiar with like the layout of Malaysia, right? Penang is to the north, and it's one of the highest like GDP states in Malaysia. But at the same time, you like the time that we're talking about when they first started, like when Culture Japan Night, is it? What was CJN, I think? I can't remember the full name of the event.
Japan something. Yeah, Culture Japan.
Culture Japan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the event was called Culture Japan, and I can't remember what the last word is. CJC, CJN. But anyway. So yes, so when they did that event, it was an interesting like sort of marker for us, because we really wouldn't know whether despite the GDP and everything else, we don't know how many ACG fans are within that space, you know, that kind of thing, the geolocation. So we really don't know how far they would be willing to travel just to attend the con and all that kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, Danny's event basically proved to a lot of people that said like, yeah, you can hold an event and people still show up, and the number of people is quite like, you know, reasonable. Oh my god, my mic is really soft. Oh shit.
Yeah, I saw that comment as well. Thanks, Jet.
It's the second time someone said this, and it's actually very scary for me, because so here's the thing. I really don't know what the problem is, because on my OBS, I'm in the safe spots. And like, but for some reason, like people, I get feedback like this from time to time where like I'm suddenly very soft. I've had old recordings where I look back at it and I'm also sounding really soft for some reason. So I really don't know what's going on. And by the way, by comparison, Rikka, Kyandy, your audio levels are the same as mine. So I really don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure about, do you think you wanted to, do you want to bump up your own mic? I don't know, is that possible? But because I don't use OBS. But...
Right. So the part that's crazy is that it's already full, and if I did anything more, I've tried doing it where I just raised it up a little bit more, and what happens is that it cracks.
Oh.
The audio cracks. So this is going to be a problem. I'm going to go try and figure it out outside, I guess. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me just do something a little bit more crazy. Post cam is also skipping frames.
We can talk ourselves while you figure out if it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my cam is also... Oh no, I see.
I'm so sorry, I cannot help you technically because I'm very bad at any of these.
No, it's fine. It's not your problem. The host cam flickering flame is it's less of a problem because like we're telling stories. Like as long as I don't move too much, it's usually not as disorienting. But like what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn off my noise suppression. I'm going to turn off all my filters on OBS. And wait, okay, now it's even softer. Give me a short while. Okay.
Ouch.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see how this goes. Oh my god, I cracked.
Later they be like, I'm tuning into 20 minutes of technical difficulties.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, it's fine. Oh yeah, it is 20 minutes. Okay, oh shit. That's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Well, okay, you have a request right now. Meanwhile, Cendol can tell us a memorable experience while cosplaying in UK. Like, what was the biggest memory for you guys while you're cosplaying in UK? Like, we jumped ahead quite a bit because I think you just talked about like going straight back to Malaysia, and that was your first competition, right? But you two did like cosplay in UK for a bit. Was there any particular like standout memory or like experiences that's unique?
I think, Rikka, do you want to go first or?
You go first, ah. I'm trying to recall.
I think I went MCM once only, right?
Yeah, I think I went twice.
Yeah, you went twice.
Yeah.
The second one you went with Pamela and Qihui they all.
Yes, exactly. And I wasn't close to them. Oh my god, I was so young. Okay, and then
Yeah, most memorable is the culture there. It's very different. Like in Malaysia, the Comic Con, everyone is like Miku, Luca, or back then it's like what Attack of Titan, S.E.A. You know, you always see the anime-ish kind of cosplay, but in London, that they have more game cosplay. Like you will see Marvels, a lot of Marvels, and like which of that? I think it's like it's like Left 4 Dead. Yeah, Left 4 Dead. A bunch of people just doing a bunch of zombie costume. It's very American Western-ish.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's memorable for me.
So it's okay.
my most memorable was the League of Legends, and there was a very pretty Akali cosplayer, and she had a tongue ring. I'm so sorry, that's so random, but that is like forever in my memory. I don't know why. Yeah, and then of course like the other things that were pretty memorable were there were a lot of sexy Pikachus, like bikini Pikachu cosplay. So like that is also forever in my memory. But yeah. Oh, one more. They have drinking parties after the event.
And they sell alcohol all the time. So.
Yeah. But I can't deal with that. Like, I'm just too tired for things like this. But yeah, there were a lot of people who were very hyped for this kind of stuff in UK.
Okay, I think I might have figured out one of the odd contributors to my video problem.
Yay!
I have turned off the offending program. Hopefully it'll be fine.
Yay!
But yes. But man, I've actually strangely never been to a Western con myself.
Oh, but it is very like far lah and expensive. Yeah,
I think nowadays the Western Con got more Genshin character, which is more alike with Asia. But last time it's really like I just felt like the Comic Con always is game character. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, so like it's probably true that nowadays it's like anime and manga and the Japanese like pop culture kind of stuff is becoming more and more common. And I think like a good way to gauge that sometimes is just how many people actually cosplay from those things. Yeah. But I think like at the same time, if we use that gauge, right, then Malaysia, Singapore, our region, right, doesn't have that many like Western influences and stuff. It feels a bit like that, but I don't think that that's necessarily true also, because like there's so many fans of Marvel nowadays. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Dougie Panini is asking, so I just want to throw it out there because it's relevant to the immediate topic. How's the crowd in comparison? Like, do you think there's like
the Pikachu question?
I'm gonna skip the Pikachu question, man. Like where I don't think that's not even a question. That's just a statement.
Sorry. The crowd is. I think the Eastern one has a lot more, right? Kyandy, what do you think?
very hard to compare because back then we only went once, and then they have summer and winter kind of Comic Con.
Yeah.
And then thirdly is like at that moment of time compare we went to London so London is definitely the most crowd compared to like back then our CF lah. But now if you look at our CF is quite a lot. So very hard to compare.
Back then it was like a CF, but not CF 2023, maybe CF 2019, right? Then but now I really can't be sure. So
Well, okay. Man, like, do you ever want to go back to cons there and stuff like that and just visit conventions there?
yes,
Yeah.
Do you guys have made plans, or is this just a like I'm waiting for an invite kind of thing?
Not necessarily an invite lah.
Yeah.
As long as the opportunity, we'll go for it lah.
Yeah. It would be great if we get an invite, of course. But if we don't, if like fate comes around, we have enough time and money and sungam, then we would lah, something like that, lor. Right.
Well, okay. I'm gonna there's another separate question, but I'm gonna hold off onto that a little bit until later. I do want to continue with the story a little bit. So, both of you guys went over to Culture Japan and cosplay, entered your first competition together in Penang. Do you still remember what year this was?
2013.
Was it 2013?
Right. 1 year before I graduated.
I think we didn't put picture in for this. I think.
Yeah.
It was, we did Lux and Ash cosplay. I think
It's from your legend.
Is this not it? Is this it?
No.
This isn't it, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we didn't pop a picture in,
No
but
worries.
I think it was. Yeah. Back then, actually, Kyandy was afraid of the stage. She has very, very bad stage fright.
Yeah.
She almost pulled a U-turn on me the night before, and I was just like. I remember it very clearly because she was really very nervous and I was like, bro. I mean, I don't mind if we pull out, but not the night before, and I'm just like.
I felt, although it's normal, but at the same time I was like, oh my god. No, because when I accept it, I just like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, sure. And then the night before, it's like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like roller coaster, the typical type. Yeah.
Was there a mantra or anything that helped you get past it?
I don't know. I think Rikka just slapped me to it. Not physically lah, probably mentally slapped me to it lah.
I just kept telling, no lah. I mean, I comforted her lah, but there were also points in time where I was just like. And we were also with Miko, Miko Teng. She's also a very good friend of ours. So I think she was there also, right?
I think so.
Julie also. I think
Chris all is there.
Yeah, they were all just like. Yeah, peer pressure too strong. Not gonna lie, seriously. Everyone's like no lah. Our group of friends are just like, seriously now. But it was okay, and we got a prize also, very surprisingly. So yeah,
it is surprised. I think since then we be like, okay.
It's kind of like a barrier. Once you get past it, it's like, oh yeah, hey, what was I even afraid of, kind of thing, is it?
I won't say exactly. Each competition, we are still sort of afraid, different kind of nervous. But it's not like the first time. Each time we get different experience. I feel like each competition is memorable to me. What kind of things that I need to be worried about? What kind of things that I'm still fixing the night before competition?
Yeah.
Wow.
Surprisingly, I think for the WCS Japan one, we were quite we weren't really freaking out. Yeah, surprisingly. I don't know why, the process was quite, the mental process was quite okay, but we were really, still fixing things until, right up to the competition day, and that was really stressful. But I don't know why we didn't freak out for some reason. I think, the past few competitions, we would, right? I think
Yeah.
like
But
we both don't really freak out
yeah,
for
not
some
the freak out until like cry, going hysteria or what. But I think for WCS one, we just like freaking out is not the option. Like it's out of the dictionary.
yeah, freaking out wasn't an option. I think like
Fascinating.
so. Yeah, we were just tired. I think like most of the time we were just tired.
We
Yeah,
are definitely very tired.
Yeah, but we felt more prepared for the Malaysian prelims lah. I'm not gonna lie, for some reason as well. But then when we went to Japan, I think we tried to learn too many new things in such a short period of time as well. So we felt a little bit underprepared lah. Not underprepared, but very overwhelmed with a lot of things. Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely there's a lot of things to fix or unexpected things. It's common in cosplay, but you're already in Japan. Things happen and you're like, you know what, we need to fix it. We cannot think anything.
Was to not do anything in Japan. Like, our goal was to really complete everything in Japan. And then when we reached Japan, we didn't want to do anything at all, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. The plan was like that, and then every time you fuck up everything, the plan went longer and longer, and then somehow we are already in Japan. We're like, fuck.
Okay, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So because this is supposed to be the journey, let's not go straight to the destination already.
Okay, yes, 老师. Okay.
Oh god. Man. I really, by the way, as a side note, like because I just turned off a bunch of my filters, I really am worried that like my voice will suddenly spike. I hope it doesn't spike. So I hope everyone's still reasonably comfortable. I hope this is somewhat clearer for everybody. Anyway, but yes, if there's any problems, please do let me know again. So your first cosplay cosplay competition experience sounded like it's a bit of a bumpy one, but it was good enough. Like, what got you? But it sounded like you guys did it like solo for the first time. Was it a solo one competition for both of you guys at the first time? You guys did it together already. It was a duo already.
Yeah, it's a duo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had no balls to do it solo.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever joined cosplay competition solo?
Yeah.
Rikka did.
You did what? Hello, I reminded you just that day.
Oh.
Okay, Ari, walao.
Yeah. Yours is the
Diana.
It's not Diana. Not Shiona. Shiona you did do, right?
Shiona got Selangor Cyber Games.
Oh, you joined that. Okay.
Yeah. We share it. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Back to our...
No, don't apologize. It's wonderful. I love the back and forth. It's fantastic. This is a very cozy stream, by the way, in case anyone is curious. Like, it's intended to be a very cozy, casual stream. So everyone should be like, chill, relax. That's why like Kyandy was like bringing up like a huge glass of wine and drinking elegantly. I was like, oh yeah, this is totally working for me, man.
Grape juice.
This is just grape juice.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so how was it different for you guys when you guys were cosplaying, like joining competitions, especially like solo and like as a duo? Did you guys ever miss like having a partner on that stage, that kind of thing, like when you guys were doing it solo?
For me, yes. Rachel, Kyandy first.
No, Rikka first. You already for me.
I think I think for me, I'm not actually a competitive person, to be very honest. Like, I like to do things at my pace, and usually it's a little bit random. Like, I'm a little bit random. I'm not really a person with a lot of preparations, to be very frank. So like I only have the mood to do things when I have someone to do it with me, to be honest. So or like a common goal. So like joining solo competitions for me is just a little bit more of like showing off my cosplays and that's all kind of thing. Like I'm not saying like showing off as in a negative way, but like I just like I put so much work into
cool
this cosplay. Check it out. They have lights, things like that. Things literally things like that. But then like I think duo is more fun. It's more interactive. But I think the fun for me is more of like behind the scenes. You know, we work and we discuss about how to make things work. I mean, I enjoy that part for me lah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kyandy, what about you?
I think duo has more challenging part. Like, yeah, you need two people to work, right? So you need to have a teammate that understands you or accept who you are, that we both have our strength and our weaknesses as well. So we need to evaluate like what we have and how can we make use of each other to really bring out our best, okay? Bring out our best.
She's not wrong. She's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so teamwork is really one of the important thing, but to me I really prefer duo in the sense that we have more flexibility on the stage, where solo is like what Rikka said, you just show off what you can, you know, then it's just one dimension. But when it comes to duo, you have two dimensions. It means that not just me, I need to consider myself, I need to consider my teammate need to consider about me. And that is like just it's not like times two, it's just like 2 and 2 is 4. I don't know.
2 and 2 is 4. What are you talking about?
It's 2 square.
2 squared
Yeah, I
is
think
also
it's
4.
square. If we don't put 2, it's just like I just felt like it's a squaring method lah. So it's not just simple multiplier.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 is a very bad number to choose for this analogy.
Very
I think we all understand where you're going with this, just the mathematical problem.
it's a mathematical problem for us.
But yeah, so like okay, so once again, quick recap. Culture Japan, first time you guys partnered together, started like cosplaying like in a competition together. Somewhere in between, you guys did join solos before, but like were there multiple projects that you guys have since done like as a duo? Like how many competitions have you guys done as a duo all this while? Like do you have a rough idea off the top of your head?
I think the next one will be triple instead of duo.
Wait. Okay, duo we did a lot of like side duo projects, but not competitions.
Right.
And if competition, no lah, the next one is duo first, still duo, Clara Cow.
No, Animagaki first.
Oh, Animagaki first ah. Oh, okay.
Clara Cow is C4 already ma.
Yeah. Oh.
That one is AMG Chan. We still have AMG Chan back then.
We joined C4 twice. One for fun.
Yeah, but
testing.
yeah. But Animagaki first also before that too.
Oh, is it? Oh, Animagaki first. The Card Captor Sakura one. We forced my little sister to join us as the main character. Yeah.
So there was 3 of you guys as well.
Yeah, there was 3 of us. Like we like group projects a bit more. It's more fun.
But then Animagaki allows 3 people. That's why. And
yeah, it was so fun. And they did the same thing where you have a theme stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I think it wasn't like set 3. It was like don't know how many to how many.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, participants allowed. I think like I cannot really remember. So we did that. We did. It was a Card Captor Sakura performance. Until now, I still quite like it. I mean, I like the idea. Not gonna lie, I felt we were a bit more creative back then. But a lot of people who didn't watch the series probably wouldn't understand the performance so well lah. I think Card Captor was still okay, but the Conan one, but I still like our Conan idea lah. But it's okay lah.
Okay, I'm gonna follow up with that one. So the next big project you guys did with your baby sister to do we call it Card Captor. This was for AMG which year?
right.
Oh, it's the last photo in the folder.
Really?
And I just
I think
noticed
it's like-
we had the CJC photo there. What the fuck?
We had
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here
before
we
this
are.
photo.
Let me just bring this one up.
this
Let me just bring it out. Yeah, this one.
Someone remember can like cards. Yes. Wow, Joker. Wow, it's good.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, remembers the Aurelia also. Yeah, I joined a competition with Aurelia before, but that was like very, very long.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is definitely impressive. This is 2016.
Oh, it's 2016.
Yeah, it's right there back there, 2016, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. Then Kara is 2018 and 2019. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a fun little bit of trivia. So, because I've been organizing for Comic Fiesta like since I think 2004 roughly. I've been on and off the scene a little bit, so like I was there like helping out, like plan out everything from the cosplay competition rules even to the formats and stuff like that. I've worked with a lot of people for cosplay competitions. Do you know why these by the time you guys were joining around this time, right, that the average cosplay competition is usually for groups was sized between 3 to 5? But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, because around this time, around the 2010s, right, the cosplay competition usual formats you'll see when they say for group, right, it's never 2, it says 3 to 5 roughly.
Oh,
You know this?
okay.
Like there was a period in time around this time that did that. And it actually had to do a lot with the fact that, like, at one time, a lot of the cosplay competitions, whenever we as organizers organize a group cosplay competition, right? Too many people will go in as twos, and then we wanted to diversify. Like, we wanted to encourage people to just try out different things. So we said, okay, you can't do it if it's only just 2. We at some point when I was working with CF, we actually had a separate category that specifically says you only for 2, and then you like 3 to 5 kind of thing. You know? Yeah, so we specifically did that. So we did a lot of weird things in the old days of, like, the early days of cosplay competitions. And one of them was these kind of things, just to encourage people to just try and experiment with different things. And also, by the way, just so you know, why is it 5? It's also because prior to that, I can't remember which team was it, but someone went on stage with like a 12-person cosplay team.
Wow.
And the stage became so cramped. We were worried, the stage team was worried that someone might fall off and injure themselves.
Oh.
So we said at the time, I was like, yeah, we need to do something about this. We need to be like specific with the thing. And then we also have to sort of be worried about like how much stage space, because sometimes some stages are smaller, some stages are bigger, right? So yeah, so there was this one time, especially I remembered, we were doing for a popular book fair. We were organizing a cosplay competition for a popular book fair. And because it was done for an external organizer, they didn't run the stage specs by us. The freaking stage, right, was I think like up to our hip level, and it's only it's only a 2x4 meter. 2x4 meter is like freaking small.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's small actually.
Yeah, that's freaking small.
Yeah. That's so dangerous for 12 people though. Okay, imagine.
Yeah, correct. So that's why, like, when we saw that, thankfully nobody, like, no one went there with a 12-person team. That's not the same event. But by that time we already knew that, yeah, we need to be careful about the stage size and make sure that you don't have too many people trying to stuff themselves on that stage. Yeah. At the time when we introduced the rule, we had people who came up to us and said, Jared, how come, like, why can't we, like, oh, but if I don't go on stage, okay, can, like, if we don't use the stage, okay, can we just do on the floor? Then we're like, oh, but we have to manage the crowd flow on the floor and all that kind of stuff, make sure there's enough space for people to, like, you don't accidentally bump into people and all that, make things really, really difficult. So yeah, so it's a bit of fun trivia. The fact is, like, we didn't start off with those rules, we transited into it over a long period of time.
I see.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
good
a
to know
long time.
though. Yeah, it's been. Oh, I still think like sometimes having like a big group is quite interesting, but I also understand the conflict. Yeah.
Correct.
I do miss like big group lah, cause very interesting in some way.
Yeah, it is. I still remember a long time ago, like 1 or 2 years after we started implementing those rules, right? We had some cosplayers who were like, or some people within the team itself was like suggesting, why don't we do like a limited cosplay competition, like a small ones, like especially for places like smaller events or like one-offs and things like that, where it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to do a super size one. The minimum team size is like 8, you know, that kind of thing.
I think that would be hard.
8 to like 12 and stuff like that. I'm like, how many people
that's pretty hard.
how many people do you think can fit that criteria?
I'm not gonna lie, just coordinating like 2 person is already like quite a lot to do. I mean, I think it's a lot more on like chemistry and stuff lah. Like it's
Right.
hard to just get a team of like 5, 6 people to work.
Can.
Yeah, but I would love to see like a stage show, yeah. Because I think I've seen one before in Penang where someone did like a Boku no Hero group performance. I think there were like I think 6 or 8 of them. It was so good though. I really, really enjoyed it. I wish there were more people who would do that, but I really understand the amount of effort and work they have to put in just to really coordinate, you know? So like
Yeah.
I can understand why nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, I think like especially nowadays when the standard of cosplay performances and the expectations of people, right, even for competitions, are so high. It's
Yeah.
it's sometimes like you don't only need the right competition, you need the right stage. Like if the stage is too small or if there's not enough space for you to like, you know, put your things behind or arrange for people and things like that, it's going to get really messy and very cramped and very uncomfortable to do all that, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a big question to ask, and it's related to some of the questions that's been brought up here. Like when you guys are selecting your titles when you're doing, so the first one you guys did together was like the one that I shared earlier, which was from Vocaloid. After that, you've joined a competition together. If my memory serves me right, was from League of Legends that you guys were doing from, right? The Culture Japan one, League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, your next one was Cardcaptor Sakura just now,
Yeah.
right? So like when you're selecting your thing, your titles that you're drawing your characters from, right? Like, is there a sort of a process to this, or is this sort of like, oh, I like my mood today is this?
Yeah. Go.
I can do a short one. Like I think initially for League of Legends, because we are cosplaying that, so we just joined as that. But for Cardcaptor Sakura, definitely we went through what we like for the series. We went through like, oh, what series you watch, what anime you watch, and then we just list down and like, okay, you know what,
So-
can we really like have the chemistry together with it? Do you like this series? Do you remember this scene? Like, oh, it's very iconic. We actually did quite a lot of discussion. But I think one thing is the selection of series is very different from WCS, and I don't know should I go into that or not. Yeah, for other competition, it's mainly what we love.
Yeah.
Did
Exactly. Like I think.
you? Right. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Rikka. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No. Worries. Go ahead.
I think like for like other competitions, like we are really a bit more chill because we are not really like that I want to win lah, you know, that kind. We just want to experience it. So like what Kyandy said, what we love is our first and most priority, and we kind of see like what kind of scenes we like, and if we have any creative inputs lah. We don't really mind so much about whether or not we can execute it. We just kind of like, let's just go and have fun kind of mindset and look good. Okay, that's but then like for WCS, we really went through a lot of factors on what we want to do because we wanted to win lah.
So what I'm hearing here is like, whenever you guys are planning out for like a competition and things, you guys are like looking at, oh, hey, what has been the big titles of inspiration or whatever crosses your mind at the time. You're crossing your notes, looking at where your overlap is. Like it's sort of like this giant Venn diagram kind of way of doing it, and eventually trying to figure out like, hey, what would gel best between both of you guys at the same time for that specific show lah. Am I getting more or less right there?
Similar, but not that organized. Yeah.
Yeah, not that
We just sit down with a coffee and then we talk it out.
yeah.
Like very 天时地利人和 kind of thing, is it?
Yeah.
We just chat and like, okay, you know what, Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah. I'm like, you do Sakura, okay?
It's like, we like that, okay.
You have no choice.
All right. So, like, has there been, so basically through all these years, like since you started in like Kyandy, for you specifically, you started in 2012. Rikka, when was yours? Sorry.
2010.
Was it 2010?
I think 2011 or 2010. Yeah, just like 1 year plus. before Kyandy.
Sorry, this is old man tears rolling.
I think like 2011 is pretty old already.
My first cosplay was 2003.
Tomate, you cosplayed?
Yes.
I never knew it.
Yes, very very long time ago. I retired before you started.
Oh.
Uh,
Wow, okay, that's so young.
I still have cosplays that I want to do, but I don't know when I'll ever get around to doing them.
Okay, when you feel like it, one day, maybe surprise comeback in CF.
It'd be really funny if I do. Anyway. Right, so you guys started around almost the same time, like in the early 2010s, and then after that, you guys have joined multiple competitions together. How many has it been? Do you guys have a number off the top of your head that you can have some impression of?
Duo only or solo and duo?
Together.
Or together together then easier to count
but then like, together with group or non-group? Like that's a lot, right? How to easier to count?
No, I think he meant like just duo together, like as a duo together, I guess.
Competition.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, can.
Yeah.
So once again, if you ever needed like proof that this is 100% live, you can see how like weirdly scuffed this conversation is going. All of us are like still trying to figure out like but yes, competition together.
There's CJC, AMG, Clara Cow 1, Clara Cow 2, or 6. Okay, Kyandy has done the math. 6.
I don't know. You trust my math, okay?
Yeah, I trust your math. Yeah.
So once again, our memories are always shit for these kind of things. So if anyone wants to correct them, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm happy to like accept any correction. Yeah. If you've got pics to prove it, even better.
Whoa.
Hey, you never know, man. Somebody could be like there going like, oh my god, I'm a huge die-hard fan of Rikka and Kyandy. I have pictures from every single one of their competitions piled up. You know? Like on your 10th run, right, they're gonna show up in front of you, right, with a giant collage and ask you to sign every single one of those.
Kai Xiang, you asshole! I met you in Irelia cosplay or you were in Kazakhstan. How dare you?
I also remember that. I was like, Irelia leh, not Shiwana leh. I think Shiwana he's not there also.
Yeah, Shiwana he's not even there. Shiwana he really not there. No.
Yeah.
He came CF. He did Rengar.
Oh.
Yeah, he did Rikka, but we didn't join the competition. We just had a
we did.
Yeah. Sorry, we were very distracted with the comments, and then we saw one of our friends who commented, and he's like, I still remember the first time I met Rikka in Kuala cosplay.
This is side note. This is really behind the scenes kind of thing. Like this is also why, as a general rule, I usually recommend people who are not used to streaming to not look at the comments while we stream. But yes, guys, no, please feel free to continue chatting. There is nothing wrong. Please feel free, go ahead. You're not distracting at all.
Oh my god,
it's always nice to see everyone around.
Kyandy, you see? Can you remember my Irelia? Oh my god.
I got someone remember your Irelia, Close Blade Irelia. I also remember that. Your sword is so heavy. Your sword blade.
Okay, so you guys have joined, like, the two of you guys have competed like 6 times together. What have you guys done? Like, what are the, like, so I know now that you've done one for League of Legends. The first one is League of Legends, the two of you guys together. The next one after that is like the Cardcaptor Sakura one that we were just putting up on screen earlier. What's the next ones after that? Can you still remember?
Yeah.
I think it's the FGO already, right?
So you did FGO one.
Ashu and
I think we have a picture of that. Let me just pull that up.
And there is this one.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's a beautiful picture.
I actually throw the armor already because like when I pick up the pack, I'm like, wow. Like it went off the shape and everything.
Jolta is not an easy costume to do. It's worth noting. Like I really don't think it's easy to do anyway.
I think my sword is still with Cindy. That's the only thing I haven't thrown.
Oh my god. I remember back then, like this one, the Mashu inside, I'm just wearing a singlet because it's like full armor ma. So I just wear full armor and a singlet. But then that time I can't really do like big stuff well. So funny. But then like we learned so much from this competition. We really learned a lot. It was a bad choice of characters.
I think yeah. Like one of the judges' comment was, I still remember that back then was Team Boots was the one that part of the judges, and then they comment something is very very good where they say that most of the time they couldn't see Rikka because
Exactly.
her
Big.
yeah, her shield is like
Yeah. That was like, it was a really valid comment, and it was also a very valid, like, we learned from that experience lah.
Yeah, definitely. That's why title does make a difference lah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what was the next competition one? So it was FGO then?
Oh yeah, Sumi, Alexander, good night.
Oh, yeah, so me.
After FGO,
straight Conan, right?
Conan we did twice. So once we joined once, like before WCS for practice. Then because our intention was to use Conan for WCS.
Also by then you're already deciding like, oh yeah, let's go and join WCS kind of thing.
Yeah, we joined in 2019.
Yeah.
And we lost obviously, but okay. I mean it's fine. Yeah, but back in 2019, before we actually joined the prelims in Malaysia, we joined Clara Cow to get a hang of it lah. Like of what a slightly more tougher competition would feel like, and also like Clara Cow that year also had a lot of very good judges. Like generally Clara Cow they also invite very good judges lah. Like I think Venus was one of the judge. So she gave like quite a lot of comments on our clothes and stuff. So I think we also learned from that for the WCS prelims.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But still just not good enough for me.
I mean, it's not our strength lah. It's memang never our strength lah, sewing.
I think it's more towards like we still have much more to learn back then.
And the time we were so new.
Yeah, we did learn from Clara Cow, we improved, but then there's so much more to consider lah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that time I think WCS for us really wasn't for us lah. It's like there were really a lot of better contestants around and stuff like that. So that year, Kura Maker won. Natalie's team, which is back then they were called also Excalibur, right? I think. Yeah.
Don't remember.
Yeah. And yeah, they got second and then we got third. Yeah, I really like our story concept and everything, but then a lot of people who did not follow the series really didn't understand what we were trying to do. So we also kind of learned from that. Yeah, we did like a very story-based skit. Yeah.
We learned from you shouldn't just do what you love.
That's so true.
I have an odd question on that one, but I do want to go into like the specifics of the skit that you guys were trying to pull off with Conan. So like what would you guys like tell me, what were you guys trying to pull off? What exactly was it, and what do you think like people didn't get?
So like actually we did like quite a lot of work on the video. We actually cosplayed and then we went to shoot a video with characters inside, like, you know, the old man from the Conan series, Sonoko's dad. Grandfather. And then
Professor,
we no, not the professor.
Oh, wrong guy.
The rich guy.
Oh,
Rich guy.
Wow,
and then,
the friend who grandfather.
Yeah. And then I was Conan and Kyandy was Kaito Kid. So we did like a sort of like, like, you know, the grandfather received like an invitation by Kaito Kid to kind of like who has hidden a crown in the event hall itself. We even put up the map and then like Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur and Sam. Like, you know, kind of thing. Like I was like, oh, I'm so smart. No, back then we were like, oh, very creative, but okay lah, nobody understands, so it doesn't matter. And then after that, like, So then the stage would be, we had a lot of huge backdrops. So I think that was a downfall also.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like rotating between the backdrops, and then in the end, like Kyandy has to do a costume change as well. So I think people were generally confused with the running around on stage and interchanging between backdrops. That was confusing lah.
Yeah.
And you know, like when we sorry, yeah, can you go ahead? Yeah.
I think like there's a lot of magician element that we love from Kaido Kid that we want to bring out on stage. I guess like our professional is not magician. It doesn't really execute what we think as well. So that's where the confusion is as well. Maybe we want to show A, but for the audience, maybe they'll be like, why suddenly this thing popped out? Like I don't get it. Like, you know, we don't have the magician kind of experience. Like you need to make sure that, okay, you know, this is here and disappear. Like we didn't go to that kind of transition. We just disappear.
The finesse behind it, the showmanship behind it, right?
Yeah. Because we actually use lights as well to kind of make the crown appear and disappear at different places. But yeah, like what Kyandy mentioned, I think as an audience, especially who doesn't know what the hell is Conan, would be like, why is a kid and a lookalike adult running around on stage? The concept is also because Conan characters are very similar looking to each other. So there's always the confusion there as well.
I think you run into I have to ask this one because for me, I do know Detective Conan. I followed it to a certain level, a certain degree. But like, is Kaito Kid well known enough to the casual viewer of Detective Conan? Because I know he's there, obviously. But like, I do feel like not enough people will consciously remember that Kaito Kid's part of the Detective Conan like canon.
Really? Oh, is it?
I feel.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I might be the wrong person to ask because I'm a fan. So probably, we'll see if anyone in the section.
Because I watched Conan when I was young, like together with the Digimon era. So after Digimon, I started Conan right away as well. To me, Kaito Kid leave a huge impression for me lah. I love him.
Yeah, side note, you guys know that like Kaito Kid actually is originally a standalone comic, like from the creator, right? Prior to Detective Conan.
I actually don't know whether it came out before the Conan or after the Conan.
It came out before.
But I did found the comic. Yeah, in like those comic store back then, it still existed. Some Huang Guan or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys, on that note, right? Do you guys ever like read comics back in the day as well?
Yeah, I have a lot of comics.
A lot.
I was just curious because like there's so many people that's been on this show who's told me about how like since like from the point of them starting in initial comics and stuff like that, a lot of them spend a lot of time like renting comics in those kind of manga rental shops, the Malaysian versions.
Yeah.
But like I don't know whether the culture like was still around when you guys were starting, you know?
Yeah, it's still around. I think it started even in between like I think the suddenly there's this few franchise called Some Yellow Crowd. It started from there. You can even get a membership. But before that, I think there's small little bookshop like some auntie underground that you can walk in, and then suddenly they have like the full series of like Dragon Ball inside the shop one. Then you're like, wow. I used to read those also.
Yeah, I used to like pay 20 cents just to read the comic book, or like 50 cents just to read a comic book kind of thing.
Or you pay 100 and take the whole series home.
Those really?
Also. Yeah, but it's something that my mom don't really like because they'd be like, you reading comfort, you forget to return bro. Because you take the whole series home, right? So I remember I borrowed a Blackjack series and it's forever at my home.
Oh.
I forgot.
At some point you basically bought it. At some point you just basically bought it, right?
Yeah. I think Blackjack, it depends on how long the series, it adds the money as well. So, and then when you return only, they'll return you the deposit. Those kind of concept.
Well, since both of you guys are huge fans of Conan, right? Quick question. Which do you think will end first, One Piece or Conan?
Conan is still young, you know.
One Piece, yeah. Yeah. I think One Piece will happen. We are also huge fan of One Piece, by the way. So
I had to ask because like I think the overlap for people like the younger generation of of otakus and like geeks and stuff, they might not have touched Conan as much. I think One Piece still has its decent following nowadays because it's like I think for some reason it's still visually impressive enough that a lot of people still follow it and stuff like that. I feel like Conan's following might be on the slightly older side of things.
yeah, it definitely dropped lah because like how many cases can you break one day? Like the cases are getting pretty repetitive lah. Not gonna lie.
Do you know I actually watched the Netflix, like there's this like whole series for the Han Yin one, the black person went to the Beka town.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it was so
God, it was
stupid, but it
hilarious.
was like generally saying that how every day people die and there's a murderer and every day Conan will catch you.
Yeah. I think like at some point someone was doing a timeline for Conan, and like if you took the death stats of the town that they were in, it would be the most dangerous town in Japan by default.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of things a little bit then, because we've got your rough journey all the way until this point. Let's talk about you entered WCS 2019, was it, that you joined and couldn't get it with the Conan skit? What your next attempt? Obviously 2020 was COVID, 2021 was COVID as well. So my guess is that you won in 2022. Was it?
Yeah.
23? Was it 23? It was 23.
We participated in the event was held in 2022,
Right.
but we represent 2023. No meh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we went this year. I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry. I time skip.
I love the confusion.
We joined in 2023.
Yeah. And
We represent 2024. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Sorry.
there's obviously still a 3-year time skip in that space. Care to share a little bit on that time, like your prep work, anything that was going through your heads, anything like that?
When COVID happened, lor. We did nothing. I mean, I did nothing.
Yeah, COVID happened, then we did nothing. I think we wanted to join, and then COVID happened, so we were just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, then we got busy. I mean, no lah, we're not the type to. I mean, I'm not the type. I need external pressure. You know? Sorry, just kidding. I mean, yeah. So like, I don't know how we decided to join again.
I know you reached out to me. You just said like 2019, you think that we can do something better lah. Then I agreed lah. And then COVID happened, and then it just went past. Yeah, something like that. And then it struck back us for the 2023 one because you went for the 2023 prelims. And then you asked me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah. I went to watch. I mean, I've always followed WCS closely lah, because I think it's nice. Like, it's one of the rare competitions that, you know, it's like a 50-50, like it's a 50% on costume and 50% on performance. There's actually really not a lot of competitions like that lah.
Oh, that's
And
changed
plus,
actually.
yeah, plus like the opportunity to go to Japan is very attractive. I mean, it's not about the trip actually. It's really not about the trip, because it's really about having a rare opportunity where you can meet like a lot of different countries representative, and you can have a really like a cultural exchange on ACG. That was the very attractive part. Yeah, so I went to watch 2022. I was in fact Team Inex helper. I just helped them like you know, saikang lah on that day, nothing much lah. I didn't do anything major. 2023, sorry.
Because that one is the moment, I think May, they got the prelims, they straight away go on August already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then straight away September is our prelims.
Yeah, so
Change
it was
the timeline.
yeah, it was a little bit
No
a little bit
wonder it's so
confusing.
confusing. No wonder it's so confusing.
Yeah. So I went to help. Then after I went to help, then I was like, oh yeah, we wanted to join ma. Then I just like asked Kyandy again, lor. Like she's always like my go-to duo partner because we don't end up fighting and like yeah, kind of thing. So like I mean. It's nice to have someone stable, and we know we can definitely work together lah. So I asked her, lor, hey, do you think we want to try again? Because I mean, I'll be very frank, we are really not the best. There's really a lot of like better crafters in Malaysia, and also like a lot of very talented individuals who are talented at very different aspects. There's a lot. So yeah, to be honest, we really aren't the best or anything like that. But we kind of played it strategically lah, I would say. So yeah, I reached out to Kyandy. Then we were like, okay lah, let's try. So we decided to join. And then I think for Malaysia prelim, we took also almost around a year to prep, right?
No lah, no. But then I think just to select a series, we took 1 month. And back then I still in Singapore, so we literally just online call and two to 3 nights, keep talking about it every day. Like say that, okay, can we get an update? Do you think this works? How about this? And yeah, we just talked for so long just to select a series that we think that could work for WCS. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all know that, like, I mean, okay, hopefully everyone knows that, like, you guys ended up using Hero Academia for the to enter and all that. Like, what ended up on the cutting room floor? Like, what was your criteria for selection? What ended up on the cutting room floor?
I love this question because I think we never really got to talk about it because I think first of all is we want to choose a series that we like. Okay, that is the biggest problem here actually.
I mean, I think when you're cosplaying, especially when you're joining competition, it's really hard to not choose something that you like. Because if you choose something that you don't like, you're not going to be able to pull it off, right? Like, is it possible?
It is, right?
You can lah, it's just that
Who manages that? Like, I can't even imagine a person that can pull it off.
commercial.
I think like for me, I can't because I tried like many times like in a course group to do something that I don't like, that I will just end up like not turning out at all shit. Okay, anyways. But yeah, I think how we decided on Boku Hero, right, was really we how we came to that conclusion was there were a few considerations. The first were, what are we good at? So like we are not great seamstress. We are pretty bad at sewing stuff nicely and delicately. I think that was the biggest problem. So there's a lot of series that we like a lot more that is like fluffy and cute, but it would take a toll lah from there, right?
Yeah, it means that we cannot choose anything from Tsubasa clam series like Code Geass. You know, like how they have so pretty costume. We cannot just say that, oh, you know, we love this series, just go ahead. But no, we can't.
Yeah, and then the second thing was like, because we I don't know, like the other thing was also like performance. Like we needed to think about something that was easy to understand and easy to view. So one of the challenges is that we are both small. We are very small on stage. No, serious. It's actually something we thought about because I am super small. You can barely see me. And then like, yeah, like I mean okay, don't look at the photo. I mean like, yeah, it's true lah. Like we're both small on stage. So that also automatically means that we cannot choose something that is extra bulky or like takes our proportion away. So, you know, big armors will be very difficult to perform in. So that was also like out of our consideration because we did consider Fairy Tail.
Yeah, we wanted to do a lot of props that we are comfortable with, but at the same time, you think about it like more props, more movement issue, and then whether you can really showcase what you are performing on stage and tell everyone what you are doing it's another level lah. So we thought about it lah, like if we wear full armor, what's next?
Yeah, and the last and the other thing that we also we also wanted to do Full Metal Alchemist. So that would actually fit quite well also in terms of like characters and like how we can put out a storyline. But why we did not decide on that is because Full Metal Alchemist uses a lot of magic. So the other consideration we had was like, if you wanted to pick these characters and you want to show what skills or what kind of powers they have, how are you gonna do that on stage? So like Full Metal, with all the magic circles and stuff, like we wanted to do the magic circles. We didn't want to do the one with the dog scene, kind of thing. So that was really tough. Then we felt like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't limit ourselves to female characters or like armored characters lah. So that's how I don't even know how we choose Boku Hero.
Yeah. I think one time you even mentioned Chainsaw Man, because not just only armor character, we need to make sure that we have wow factor. Like if you were to bring something on, right, you need to let people feel like, oh my god, wow, this is always the key point of the performance. And when Rikka talked about Chainsaw Man, she felt like the wow performance is great because you might able to make the chain move. Then I asked her, can you even touch me? Can you even fight with it? Then we were like, yeah, I don't think you want to touch me with the chain.
Yeah.
The moving chain, those are the considerations we really think about. Like, oh, you have moving chains. Wow, that's cool. What's next? Like, are you gonna hit me with that? Are you gonna do like,
what you gonna do with
like
it, right?
we need to think how it fits in well in that 2-minute story, and that's where there are more consideration we need to think about. Like that's why it took really long time.
Really, really long. Like deciding the character was the longest for us lah, and we really learned a lesson from the fact that people don't understand Conan. So we like that's it's a dilemma lah. Sometimes like if you want to win, you really have to sacrifice some things lah. So like I know like some people would say like, oh, the performance is very straightforward, it's a little bit boring, it could be like more story, more depth, more emotion. But then like we chose what we could do within our capabilities and what we thought would be the easiest to understand lah.
Yeah, I think those are the minimum that we need to lah, because if you want that, a lot of people sacrifice that, the understanding or the context of the story, and if you couldn't execute well, right, it's gonna be a dual blade sword, which means that it's not gonna help you, it's gonna hurt you instead, and it makes your marks way lower. So I think we also went a bit more conservative. We wanted to ensure that at least our judges understand what are we doing, what we are going for. Our execution can be there for what they know.
So basically, you opted for something that like, hey, it's like the odds are enough people would understand it enough, like just by looking at what you're trying to pull off. Like you don't have to think too much about it. It wouldn't be too messy. It wouldn't be too cluttered. It's pretty straightforward. Like
yes. Like it's gonna sound really cliche, but one of the reasons that I felt Dabi and Shoto is a very good competition pairing choice is because one obviously looks like a villain and one looks like a good guy. I'm so sorry. Like it's really like I know, like I really know, because like we also had the same dilemma. We wanted to do like story, but we really failed from it. So we kind of know like if you want people to even finish watching your performance, you need them to understand from the beginning, because the time is just 2 minutes. Something like that.
And we definitely need to consider that the judges not always know the series. If you portray something that you only understand, right, that is a huge problem. That's definitely a huge problem already.
Okay, on that note, I have two big questions. This is related to some of the stuff that you were sharing off earlier. So number one question, what is your take on humor in skits? So the reason why I'm asking this is because long time ago, in a land far, far away, back when like the early days of Comic Fiesta cosplay competitions, right? What you see a lot, right, was like, a lot of people used to do a lot of like humor style cosplay skits. Everyone was trying to do something that's funny. Everyone, because it was entertaining, it's easy to leave a mark, especially with the local audiences and the local judges. But personally, for me, I think there's two big problems. One of it is like humor. Sometimes, like if you, what everyone finds funny can be a bit different, you know. And then it's always a problem when language becomes an issue as well, you know. And then like I think especially on a stage like WCS, right? I feel like it's even a bigger problem. But I wanted to ask your opinions on this one. Like, where do you sit on this yourself?
Interesting question. Do you want to start first?
I can just quick one. Like, to be fair, if you know your market, you make the right humor, there's no right or wrong. I think you deserve your placement now. But as what you mentioned, WCS, right? You're gonna bring a humor that everyone understand, and especially maybe if you want to be more specific and or more competitive, you need to make sure your humor is Japanese understandable, because I think 80% of the judges at least is Japanese. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but 80%. So if your humor is gonna be like it's like some Western humor or like Malaysian humor, it's not gonna work lah. Yeah, so you not just only thinking about what you want to show. I think the audience is very important. Or you want to be more competitive, judges is very important. Study your judges beforehand.
I think like about the humor thing, I think it's a very valid question, because I think I was there for the most part when there was this trend. Trend.
Yeah.
Okay, like, and then there were a lot of people, like I did hear a lot of like outsiders saying things like, oh, you want to win, you just put in comedy, then you win already in Malaysia. Malaysia is all about comedy. I heard that as well. I feel like I actually can accept comedy. I think it is really good to grab audience attention and even judges' attention. But the one thing is, you have to also make sure that you are making the costumes right. I feel like if you are going for like a world-class competition or like a bigger competition, I feel, because like the thing is, there's always like classy comedy and like cringe comedy, kind of thing. Like it's a fine line kind of thing. Like so you need to balance it out lah if you want to really go for big awards. I do kind of feel like if you do it right, you do have a very, very, very good chance. But say like if you are like sacrificing a lot of like your costumes, and then like you're only solely focusing on comedy performance, then maybe you'll get like a consolation or a third place depending on the competitors, of course, but and the marking scheme. But if it's like a 50-50 where costume is equally important, then if you don't focus on that, then there's a chance that you won't get it lah.
Yeah, I do agree on the interaction part. Actually, interaction is so important that to grab your audience. That's why humor doesn't work for WCS, but it works for Malaysia. It's fine, because as long as you got good creativity, like what Rikka say, is fine. It just hardly works for WCS, because I'm pretty sure you make a joke like Macau Hijau, you go to like the Japan stage and they be like, what the fuck?
No. To be fair, personally for me, whenever I sat in the judging panel, I actually hate Macau Hijau jokes.
Oh yeah,
I see.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
For one very, very specific reason. More often than not, it is done like a name drop. Like there is no build up, there is no tag, no skill to it. They just drop it because they think it's funny, and they think that just by saying it, it will get you a laugh.
That one is more like the skit design problem.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that one. I feel like if I'll appreciate comedy if they give slightly more context, they give a bit more like audience interaction, like, oh wow, that's really cute, or that, then I think it's okay. But other than that, I feel if it's just pure memes, very hard also. Very hard.
So what you're saying is also like, basically, if when you're sort of like planning out your skit, and even to some level your series choice, your character choice and all that, you sort of have to understand the stage that you're going to be performing on as well, and the audience that's going to be watching you as well.
I think it's a marking scheme lah. Marking scheme and judges.
Well. Okay.
Yeah, marking scheme and judges. Actually, like before when we completed the WCS Malaysia prelims, and then after that we did have like a short discussion and coaching session with like Inui-san and Pine-san, and they actually reminded us that what is important is what the judges are seeing. It's not how the audience see you, it's how the judges see you. So
Yes.
their angle matters, the audience angle does not.
Doesn't matter.
That's
Yes.
one way of putting it. I
Really
suppose.
what Inui-san say.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just pull us in and say like, if you choose to stand this side of the stage, you need to think about it. And then we given a lot of chances to adjust that, because when we in Japan, we already know where the judges are sitting. We even can see, we can see the near automata game director Yoko Taro,
Yeah.
where he placement there, and then you're like, okay, you know he'll be there, right? And you already know that he's sitting, right? And you're still not adjusting where you should be, right? Then I think, yeah, that's about it lah. You can't blame the judges also.
Yeah. And yeah, so they said like, yeah, the audience opinion is not important.
Yes,
That's what
because
they say, but you know,
I think when I submit for WCS, they even tell us like, oh, you know, the audience, they can see something from above. So if your backstage prop is not high enough, they can see you changing costume. But that's fine, you know. Yeah, they disclaimer in the document. They say like just
Be
in
mindful.
case,
Just be
right? Yeah,
mindful,
people can see your costume changing from this angle because they are 2 floors above.
I
Yeah.
Kyandy, I especially love the fact that you actually like did a photo taking gesture with your finger. It's like, yeah, guys, if you're going to like start like, you know, taking stuff off and shit, like, yeah, you know, hey, it's
But I think like also like this thing is like a lot of I mean obviously a lot of audience and like the general audience are not aware of this, and then sometimes I think contestants also fail to you know be informed of this lah, because like where the audience sits or stands, the view can be very different from where the judges is actually sitting
course,
and
of
what they
course.
see. So sometimes it's not all that meets the eye lah, but of course, you know, yeah.
Well, okay. We're running into like 90 minutes already, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm flying.
Yeah, I know. But we have an arrangement. We agreed that we're going to try and keep this to 2 hours. So we're going to keep to the deadline as much as we can. We're going to fast forward a little bit more. So okay. So come 2023, it's August. You guys have done everything else there. You guys have got your ticket to Japan. What were the immediate like next steps for you guys? What was the planning stage to go to Japan for you guys?
Can you start first?
What was the question? Sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So basically, so it's 2023 August. You've done the Malaysian leg. You've won the Malaysian leg. You've got your ticket, right? So you now know that you're going to go to Japan in 2024. What are the first steps? What are the first steps? What's that process like for you guys? That time in between.
Oh, I think like we took a break first. We were so tired from the preparations. Like seriously, like before that, like it was already tedious enough for us lah. And then I think then the next step was actually collecting very useful feedbacks from some of the judges and also some of the like what's it called, like our friends and stuff lah. So some of them actually gave us like very good feedback, and also based on the prelims, we actually really kind of notice what sort of things we need to fix for Japan, because like our costumes had a lot of light, so there's a lot of wires, so that was like one of the things we had to change, because assuming like in Japan we will have less chances to fix things lah. So the first thing we did was actually sorry, a bit on a separate thing. The first thing we actually did was getting a teacher to teach us proper moves.
Oh.
Because like we fight like sissies. Okay, no, sorry. No, I mean like we're girls, so
to be perfectly
we are not
fair,
very.
No,
Yeah, I mean to be very honest.
No. I'm 100% behind you on that one. Like, I mean, for those who don't know, so back in the day when I was like judging for Anycom and all that stuff, I very proudly would tell a lot of people, and this is where knowing your justice matter, yeah, just to be fair, yeah. I very proudly would tell a lot of people, trying to do a martial arts skit in front of me is one of the most riskiest things you can try and do, because I can tell when you don't know how to throw a punch. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be somewhat convincing. Like, you don't need to actually throw strength behind it, but you at least need to be able to look like you know how to throw a punch, because it's otherwise going to look really bad. You know, so if you're going to do a fighting skit, you need to at least know how to throw a punch. You know?
Yeah. So like, I mean like, yeah. So we got a teacher actually. Like we got a teacher to. He's actually, introduced by one of our friends who does like performance arts.
Nice.
Like so we got him to teach us lah. But of course, it's a little bit hard because like based on the timeline we have, because we also need to spend a lot of time on like other preparations, right? And then like we are both working. She's in Singapore, and then so that was also one of the factors. Then the other thing was also we have no experience prior to this, so it's a little bit like we had to fit our skit to what we are able to do and what we are not able to do. You know, like I know like some people like, you know, AJ, he can just come in and he can just like, you know, does like somersaults and stuff. I cannot do that, she cannot do that, you know, kind of thing. So like I think like, and then like, yeah, we actually had like a sharing session with like Team Momorex as well, like Team Om. Like they also shared like, it's not that they don't want to, but they are on like the biggest size of the spectrum. So they say it's generally hard for them to move around looking like they are flying. So some things is not that they don't want to do or they are not listening to your comments to try and improve it, but there's just a limitation on how it looks like visually, you know, and whether you are able to pick it up, something like that. So of course, like our teacher, he's a bit more familiar with this kind of things. Like he knows like how whether you can or cannot, and then on instances where we can't, he gave us suggestions or like fixed screenings that to look like we can, you know, kind of thing lah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was the first thing we did actually. Then maybe Kyandy like can continue on others.
Yeah, I totally agree on what Rikka said. Like, we are definitely not something that we can break dance or jump around so much, and that is something first thing we went through. Then other than that, I think once you win, you have more responsibility. You felt the weight of people say that you need to represent Malaysia, you know, and we have 1 year compared to the previous contestant. They perform in prelims and they definitely bringing the same thing to the competition because they usually have left 1 month to prepare, and then they will be at Japan already.
It's just that they are very rushed. So they had no other options.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, but we have the option. So we are the first representative that given this option and opportunity to have more times to think about our things. So we actually went through all our stuff to think that how can we upgrade to make sure it's world-class level, to make sure that we are not putting down Malaysia. We wanted to try our best. How can we upgrade every little single thing? We really went through a costume like, okay, this, what can we upgrade? This weapon, what can we upgrade? LED, what can we upgrade? Skit, what can we upgrade? Movement, what can we upgrade? We went through every single thing, and that whole 1 year is to make the whole thing different, right? So we learned a lot of things. I think most of the time, other than resting, we also did some planning, and then after the planning, we did some testing. We did a lot of testing, so much testing that
before we actually made anything.
We try new SFX, we try new lighting, we try new props, we try new costume, we try everything new. Because if you don't do something new, right, then we felt the weight of like, okay, are you guys not trying, or are you guys being lazy and just win the prelims and just represent to Malaysia, you know? We just felt like we need to do our best. We just, not because we want to change something, we want to make sure that we change for the better. We want to make sure that what we change is really for the better. And we found out like, yeah, we can, we just need more money. We need more money, but yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not just about how people look at us lah. I mean, that's not the whole point of this thing lah. Like, it's also our personalities that we really wanted to do our best that what we can do, and we really want people to be like, oh, Malaysia can do this, something like that. So actually, we not only plan for the championship costume, we also plan for the red carpet costume and the Osu parade costumes. Like whatever costumes that they ask us to bring, we try to make something good and bring it there. But of course, we were again over ambitious. So we had very little time left, and thankfully, like some of our close friends and our friends helped us with like the Osu parade and the red carpet costumes lah. But then like back to the WCS main championship costumes, like so like Kyandy said, like we made a lot of changes to the skate performance and then to also our costumes itself. Some mishaps happened lah, so on stage, so it was also quite sad for us. But yeah, so like what changes we did for the preparation, everything is wireless already thanks to Kyandy. But when we went there also, we had a lot of suffering because their power is very different from us, like their power output, so we struggled to fix it a bit lah.
Both the wattage and the Kapala is different.
Yeah, the Kapala is fine. So
Yeah,
the
the Kapala's not
voltage
an
is the
issue.
problem.
Right.
The voltage, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we had to actually get a whole new set of tools there just to fix everything
Glue
lah.
gun, hair dryer,
no wonder, no
maybe not hair
wonder.
dryer,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but the soldering iron also.
Yeah, even and for like the makeup as effects also, we totally upgraded and learned lah. Like everything is like during that 1 year, actually not 1 year, 9 months. We were given like 9 months prep time.
Yeah,
I think we used like pretty much all of it, like discussing, practicing, stuff like that to make it work lah. But because also it's actually our first time also doing a lot of the stuff during that preparation time, so it wasn't easy because we were learning and experimenting, so it wasn't like smooth lah.
Yeah.
So I have a picture of you guys on stage, on screen right now. Based on the story that you just shared, it feels like it's almost fair to say that everything that we're looking at right there, right, is more or less redone, like just specifically for the Japan leg of the trip. The competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Almost everything.
Is any like what remained from the Malaysian qualifiers?
I think it's my coat and her shoes. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
My coat and her shoes and my shoes. That's all.
So even the white shirt that you're wearing is completely changed as well.
I changed the method because to match how her costume is, we use a kind of different of. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to explain this because I'm not a seamstress.
Yeah.
I only know like I need this material to have this material. So I have no idea. I just sew it together. And it works because my inspiration is from the Naruto stage play. And I got from the Naruto stage play, I said that, okay, I need this kind of texture, this kind of material. And then I went and test it out around. So I actually don't know what am I doing in terms of seamstress work.
Like the techniques, yeah.
The techniques, I have no idea what it is, but I just did it. So to match the techniques, I changed my inner shirt also. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Like so, okay. That's all the prep work that you had up to that. Oh, by the way, just as a quick aside, just as a fun story to share. Like the one reason why I know about the Japanese wattage difference was because at one time we brought a band over under Comic Fiesta, and they were bringing their instruments over, and we had to specifically find a transformer for one of their amps.
Right.
Because the amperage, the wattage that they were using was a Japanese wattage, and we needed something to transform like the Malaysian wattage to the Japanese one, so that the amp could be used properly. Yeah. Never knew that was a problem.
Yeah, we didn't realize it until there. So to be honest, like when we bought all the tools, we wanted to save it for the next rep, but then we couldn't bring that much luggage back also. That was another issue.
Actually, I see a bit of the voltage issue coming because we've been to Japan multiple times for travel, and back then my Dyson doesn't work in Japan, so I was telling Rikka like I think there might be an issue, but then like when we talk about issue, we wasn't thinking how serious it is. I think the serious part is the problem. I said like maybe you can bring over and try, maybe it's just lower power, it's not gonna be like not working. yeah, but the lower power does hit us. Oh.
Yeah, it did. But we received very good feedback during costume judging lah, so we are actually very happy. We're just of course sad that the performance was really not up to what we had intended lah. It's really quite far from what we had during practice and stuff, so we are quite sad with it. But oh well, if it happens, it happens. Like there's really nothing we can do. We tried our best.
I only always comfort Rikka that if we did our best, I don't think we can get a third place. I guess that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if we did our best, like we were like say like we were
perfect
top
execution.
that day, we wouldn't have won any prize also. Everyone was that good. Everyone was really good.
Everyone's very good.
All right.
Very, very.
Like, okay, I want us to zero in on that day itself as well, and talk about like a little bit of your journey. Like, we have only 50 minutes left, so I want to try and talk a little bit about the journey that you have
if it overruns a bit, don't worry about
but,
it.
But I do want to put it out there for anyone who's still listening. If you guys got any questions or anywhere else in between, please feel free to leave it either in the comments or in the link, the questionnaire that's linked in the description of this video or the stream. You can find a Google link inside the description of this video. Drop it in. No guarantees that you'll get to it, but at the same time, put it in. Like, it's always nice to hear from everybody, right? All right, so let's talk about your flight there and like the lead up to WCS. So now, all cards on the table. I am not like, I have some impressions over what happens during WCS. I know the itinerary changes from year to year, and for what it's worth, a lot of my impressions was partially from Rikka's own sharings, like the pictures that she's posted up, the stories that she's put up and stuff like that, and also through the conversations that we've had in the last couple of days. So yes, so now let's talk about like you guys leaving from Malaysia. It's the day that you guys took your flight. You guys have both been to Japan before, right? Was it your first time in Japan?
No.
Okay, cool. Because for some people that will be crazy disorienting on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys have been there, like, so you guys land there. How is it like when you guys land? What happens from there? Like, is there somebody to greet you there? Are you going there with the organizers? How does it work for like WCS?
Someone greet us there.
Like with the card and everything.
We have omotenashi students, which I forgot what omotenashi means. I think it's something about like greeting. It's about culture stuff one, but I forgot already. But they are volunteers supposed to take care of us, and then they are at the airport. It's like hi. Yeah. So yes, there are people greeting us. Then
okay, so you guys, how does it go from there? Like, is they're supposed to guide you through the entire trip, or is it just only specifically during that, like when you land kind of thing?
So I think like the total of our trip was around like 7 days actually. I think almost 7 days. So like the first day, basically we just check in and do nothing. So we just do like costume prep, check out stuff lor. Then the omotenashi student is there to help us with anything we need. So like if we have problems or like we need translations or we need food, things like that, they are there to assist us lah. Then the second day we were starting to get into the things like there were briefing sessions, things like that. So like we had like an introduction meeting where everyone was introduced to each other, and it was generally like a briefing about what it's gonna be like in the next few days and how are you gonna get your numbers, and then like what are you gonna do in between and stuff like that lah.
So that's on day 2 lah.
So it was like,
so day 1 when you land, it's chill and easy, just like everybody is like relaxed kind of thing. What time did you land? Did you land in the evening or?
It's afternoon.
So it's afternoon.
We actually reached Tokyo around morning, and then we have a transfer flight around. Then we reach Nagoya around afternoon. Yeah.
Right. So it's from Tokyo. There's a transfer flight over to Nagoya, which is a local flight. And then from there, it's like you're done there in the afternoon. Day 1, chill, relax. Day 2, morning is a briefing. And is there immediately things to do already, or is there like still a lot of free and easy time for you guys?
Yeah, I think afternoon we have a broader museum visit, and then nighttime we this exchanging souvenir kind of thing. So actually day two, pretty much the whole day we have things to do. Surprisingly, yeah.
Do you meet your fellow contestants already on day two, or how does it?
Day one already we meet. Day one we walk into the airport, we put our luggage. I was like, Germany team is beside us. Like, oh hi. Yeah. We met them on the way already. Yeah.
So that's very interesting. So
Yeah.
Did it feel like the entire hotel was like more or less like taken up by people for the show, or?
Yeah, I feel
half of it.
3 floors at least 3 floors.
Yeah,
Or 4
yeah.
floors. Yeah.
Was there anything in particular that stood out for you guys, like that felt weird or uncomfortable, or the opposite, which is just like, oh, this is so amazing and interesting and all that kind of stuff?
I just
The
fine
highs and
I
lows.
think
The highs
just
and
normal
lows.
lah.
Oh my
It was
god!
very nice.
This
It's
is
like boot camp lah.
and here
Sorry?
I'm trying to like sell WCS a little bit, but you're making like it's like, oh yeah, no, it's a wonderful Japan trip. If you like Japan, it's gonna be more or less just that. Is that how it feels like?
No lah, it's not about Japan, man. Yeah, it's not about Japan. It's just like we are there.
There was nothing about Japan. Like we were just stuck in the venue for like the entire 6 days. Pretty much do nothing else. I mean, no lah. I mean, like it's all about the competition.
Right.
Really, it was lah. Okay, I don't.
I think the most Japanese things I can ever experience in the whole competition is the konbini already. The 7-Eleven nearby is like the best already. Oh, I'm not even joking. I'm like, oh.
But I do want to slide in a note because like on the last day after the competition, we did actually have like like what's that called, like a congratulatory dinner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like for everyone, we were shuffled off into the onsen where we enjoy ourselves and stuff like that. Man, the food was so bad. I mean,
What?
I don't, to be fair, like last year's reps, Team Cid, they actually like pre-warned me. They told me like you might not like the ryokan food because it's pretty bland. I thought they were lying because like Japan, how can it be bad, right? But they were not wrong.
Okay.
It was so bad.
Okay, now not
sorry.
being look, to be fair, and not having been there myself, I feel like it's important to recognize that sashimi is an acquired taste.
Oh, I love sashimi though. But guess
Yeah.
what sashimi I had? I had vegetarian sashimi. Have you had vegetarian sashimi before?
What did they do? They boil and like very expertly sliced cabbage.
No, they give you konyaku, which is like, wow, calorie free, man.
Is konjac calorie free?
Yeah, sort of. But I think it's like sort of like calorie free one. But then the problem is, it's not about the calorie free anymore.
Yeah.
We want the sashimi.
Yeah, so we were like so sad. No, like, because
Right.
we asked for no seafood because we were concerned. Like I have allergy concerns, and she doesn't really like seafood.
Shellfish.
We
Okay.
ended up with no fish.
Yeah, we
Oh,
end up
okay.
with no fish.
Okay.
Not
Understood.
even a fish bowl or like nothing.
Okay, I feel like there was a communication error somewhere in between that. Like it sounds like
I have been but it was really funny lah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess the type of like allergy they have like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
seafood and then no like vegan,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and then we
right.
just fall into that category because we just don't like one type of food. So
Yeah,
I guess it's just
yeah.
that way.
funny thing on that one. Like I was I had a friend who was really not into cheese.
Oh.
And we were out at one time, and I can't remember what exactly was the occasion anymore. But like because we knew this friend of ours that was specifically not into cheese, like it became this crazy thing where we're like, are you okay with milk? Do we have to get you oat milk? Like we thought it was a
Okay.
problem with like lactose, but it's not.
Yeah.
It turns out that they just have a problem with the taste of cheese. They like just don't like the taste and texture of cheese. It's the weirdest thing we had to filter out.
I think it's kind of like her. She doesn't like shellfish for reasons. Like I
I don't
can't.
like oyster. I don't like lamb.
Yeah,
Whatever,
it's
like that one.
yeah. Comes.
Siham, whatever
Yeah.
lah.
Yeah, I didn't like Siam as a kid also, by the way. Just it's probably worth noting. Anyway,
I love siham.
yeah. So like last
Yeah, I
time
know Rikka.
when I was a kid, one of the things that I used to do was like whenever I order kwai teow, I would give all my siam to my dad.
Mm-hmm,
Like just dig it up and like yeah, here you go.
See how so nice leh. I love it
To
eh.
each their own, man. Yeah. But anyway, so what it does sound like through the 7 days that you're there, all the pageantry, all the celebration that's there. Like, yes, there's a lot of like fun with like meeting up with your co-cosplayers and everything else, but like a lot of it, your headspace was purely on the competition. Like you just like it was just there and nothing else.
No, I think like two things. Like they have a lot of things organized. Like we need to go for brother events, we need to museum visit, and then some other country need to go for courtesy visit. So it's different.
Courtesy visits.
Yeah, they need to I think it's like some government visit. So different country falls under different team, has different itinerary. We falls under the brother museum visit. And then I think we have the souvenir exchange. To me, that was one of the most extrovert things that I need to do. That I need to talk to
Go for the whole trip, man. I didn't know who she was. I was having like an identity crisis.
No, it's damn true.
Oh wait, I'm oh shit.
It's
No.
like 36 country. We need to talk to. This is Teh Tarik.
Guys, sorry, hold on a short while. Kyandy, I'm sorry. We had a small latency issue just now. But what I did manage to catch was like you had to meet up with a lot of other countries and basically explain to them what Teh Tarik is.
Yeah, not just me. Rikka explained a lot, so I'm just like, yes, Rikka.
Hey, we need to respect the other countries who have gluten and lactose issues, okay?
That's it.
Yeah, and not just that. Some country also they have handwritten notes. It's like wow.
Sorry.
I tell you, after that night, right, I have headache and I'm like, oh, too extrovert. I cannot.
Yeah.
Well,
But then sorry?
I wanted to know, like, so you gave like what packets of Teh Tarik? What was that it?
Oh,
We gave a batik purse and
Wow,
Teh
batik
Tarik.
purses.
Yeah, and an option of either Teh Tarik or Old Town White Coffee, and then like a Cendol candy.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, I really like the exchange. It was very fun.
Yeah.
yeah, it was so fun that we have the same exchange with Indonesia team.
Yeah, we had batik purse. Very funny lah.
Okay, I have to
Yeah.
ask, like, do you guys like set aside a budget for this, or is this organizer provided budgets, or?
No, it's on us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's
Right. No, go ahead.
no. So there's a little bit of cost lah. I mean, like, it's not a lot, but then like you need to be accounted for some of the things that you're gonna bring and stuff, because we the organizer is very helpful already. Cause like you know now like Japan Airline they change.
Yeah.
So it's like you're only allowed 2 bags.
Right.
So 2 bags of 23 kg each.
Right.
So if you have a third one,
Right.
you need to pay.
Right.
Yeah. So like it's not covered for the third bag, but obviously we have like 5 or 6 bags, right? So but then our companions were very helpful lah. Like one of the organizer went with us. Then they also assigned a photographer to go with us, and then of course another organizer lah. So they actually all only brought like 1 bag or no bags, just to make sure that we have space. But otherwise, if there is any incurred cost on this, it's very, very expensive lah. Yeah.
So what what are out of pocket costs that like you guys had to plan for that most people might not be aware of? This was something that I probably should have brought up earlier, but I think like for anyone who's considering joining WCS, this might be something that they want to take into consideration, especially.
To be very honest,
I don't know. Like if costume costs, that's way too much to think about it already.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dive into details.
I don't think I don't think costume was where I was getting at, because costume obviously you are very conscious of, right? Like you would know what you want to put it behind your costume and stuff like that. So you have like some level of control and some level of awareness to that. But I'm talking of things like. Okay, but I am talking about things that you wouldn't expect. Things like, for example, like you said, like there was this gift exchange, right? So, like, if you don't know the itinerary of
I don't think it's
WCS,
not as. It's just that I actually got got this advice from Singapore friend that is used to be past representative for WCS Singapore.
Right.
It's back then, right? I think I met him on one of the events in Singapore, and the first thing he told me is that please bring souvenirs. So I don't think it's unexpected. It's just that yeah, maybe when you join preliminaries, the time you win, you don't know what course are you gonna take. But like, okay, maybe it's section to few things lah. So first is our costume. Whatever we think what we're gonna spend and what we actually spend is again is different. Then other than that, our red carpet, we also spend some money on that because I told Rikka, like, you want either to spend money or you waste time, and we don't have enough time, so we spend money. You know, you're gonna save time.
Okay,
so that's
way. Some of the things are compulsory, like your costumes, your championship costumes. Those are like compulsory money, right? But you don't actually have to bring a nice costume to red carpet or to parade. You can just bring a shit ass costume or a Taobao costume. No, serious, like it's not compulsory. But say if you really want to look good, you have to spend, right? So I mean, like either on your own fabric or you want a commission or anything lah, right? Like you can never escape. You need to spend if you want to look good. So that is like there is a cost there lah, especially for 2 costumes and for 2 person. And actually there is one more courtesy call, which ours was cancelled. So if that was on, that is a 3rd costume.
What's the courtesy call? Sorry.
Courtesy call is like a visit to the government official.
Okay, that sense. Understood.
But you need to cosplay. And then actually during our year, there was also a finals. Not really finals, but it's just like it's called finals, but you just walk around. Technically, you can also bring a separate costume. It's not compulsory, but it's up to you. So if you felt like, hey, I really want to like show everyone everything I have, that means you need like a total of 4 additional costumes. So do you want to spend on that or not? It's also like kind of up to the contestants lah.
Yeah. I think me and Rikka, the look good is priority. That's why we decided to.
Yeah, I mean, no lah. We already put so much effort to get there. We don't want to make it look like as if it's just our costume that looks nice lah.
Yeah, we want to let people know that that is Malaysia. Wow, that's so cool. We really wanted to have that impression lah. To be fair.
And then aside from there, there's the sorry, Jared, you were saying.
Go ahead. I was going to ask just purely like, so this is relevant to the previous like the previous conversation about selecting the titles and all that kind of stuff. Like, were there any restrictions onto like the series that you can and cannot cosplay from?
Yeah. I think previously was jump is not allowed,
and
then once
allowed. Okay.
Yeah, but now jump is allowed. Then everyone bring in like Naruto, Boku no Hero. But other than that, Marvels, all these are not allowed because they are not Japanese. Yeah, Western.
So Western
you
IPs
have
only.
to be. Right. It has to be Japanese. So Zelda is okay.
Funny thing, by the way, as a weird side note, did you know that there's actually a Japanese opening to the 1990s X-Men animated series? Yeah, you should check it out. It looks fantastic. It's on YouTube. I've looked it up before. It looks amazing. It's freaking metal, by the way, in case you're wondering. Like, the original opening was already freaking metal. The Japanese one is just as metal.
That's interesting.
And it's completely reanimated as well, by the way. So it's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, but okay, so now so there's no major IP limitation nowadays, except that you still have to do from a Japanese IP lah.
Yeah, means no Genshin allowed.
Oh, nice. Good point. Good stab.
You need to be very clear with that.
I was going to ask.
It's also very clear that also parade, all these are not allowed for Genshin character. You won't see any.
I was going to ask also as well, like, what are the odds of somebody like next year or something, right, just jumping in with Gluang Man or something?
So for in terms of like when we submit our WIP and also our performance, we need to declare what we are costing already. So from there, they already know what you are costing. If they see you submit a Genshin character, of course they'll come and find you like, hello. So
Sorry,
you
hello?
won't suddenly show up and like, hello, I'm from Genshin character. Yeah, you won't suddenly. It's everything according to documentation. That's Japanese way. It's good. It's good in some way.
Yeah.
Right.
But the costume judging was very hectic though. Like that day.
Yeah,
costume
it
judging,
is. I think they just not enough time and rental
Too
time.
many people.
Yes. Yeah, too
we
many.
were separated, right? 2 days,
Yeah.
right? So,
And I don't know how they manage 40 over country next year.
this year.
No, next year is 40 something. This year is 30 something.
Yeah,
Next year
October
40.
already, sorry.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so we'll get into that one a little bit, I guess, because let's come back to the costings as well first, and we'll go back into the
Okay.
original schedule. So, like, what else was there that like sort of stood out in terms of costs? Like, additional costumes is one huge thing, clearly. So, obviously, baggage space that comes along with the additional costumes have to be considered, obviously.
Yeah.
What else is there? Is there anything else? Like, souvenirs was a thing, but in the grand scheme of things, it seems like very little money already at this point.
We choose the little money. The other team choose more money.
Yeah.
So,
I think aside from there, like don't have lah, unless like you are real picky with food and then you don't want to eat this and you don't want to eat that. Because they do actually provide food, but it's not like a lot lah, and it's not like delicious. And then your schedule makes it a bit hard to eat sometimes. So
yeah.
so that might be like a side small cost lah. You will have to get some food somewhere lah.
I think I'm more shocked that how Rikka say that wow, their food can be so bad. Yeah, I think that's the thing. The food that they provide was quite bad. That we have to go 7-Eleven.
Things to improve on.
I think hard because they was trying to cater for vegan and halal at the same time. So the things that it's very hard to say that I can provide delicious and cater for everyone at the same time. And I think the onigiri that we had was meatless, so we just like
it sounds like during the trip you almost ate like monks.
no lah. We get our own food lah. Those are the costs lor.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, it's not so bad lah. It's just that you're asking about cost
Yeah,
so
of
we
course.
just like, okay, maybe you just spend a bit more on other things that you like lor.
Okay, so the question of cost obviously stemmed out just now from your time like having to exchange souvenirs and all these kind of things, which was for some people might not be expected from the entire trip. You've also listed out like all the additional costumes that you had to bring in, and obviously the baggage space that has to bring along, which once again also similarly would not have been expected for some people. Were there any other items that were like compulsory that you needed to be a part of that in the following days that might have expanded the cost as well?
I think the voltage is good to consider. Although we are lucky enough, because we are lucky enough that our steamer doesn't work, so we couldn't iron our clothes. But another team was kind enough to borrow us a steamer. So and then apparently when we heard about other teams, a lot of them just went to big camera to get all the cheap ass steamer from there, because all of their steamer doesn't work from their own country as well, especially from Europe. I think only US matches Japan voltage.
Yeah, I think so.
So we all it's either other teams spend and you kind enough to get other team, or you spend first and then you also borrow other teams. So I think it's either way lah. Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot of even though you're all contestants for the same competition kind of thing, everyone's pretty there to help each other out kind of thing. It certainly sounds like there's a lot of that kind of feeling going on.
To us, it's like that lah. I personally, I don't know about.
Yeah, we can't speak for other years, but even the organizers actually popped in to mention that our year, the contestants were all very healthy and very good. Yeah.
I can only wonder how toxic it can get.
Yeah, I know, right? But I've heard stories lah. Yeah.
Yeah. But our year was fortunate lah. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so once again, we're really over time, so I want to rush this one a little bit. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
Let me just do a quick check before we continue to see if anyone's dropped in a question on the forums. Where is me? Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I will put it up after this because I think we can go towards the end there. We can cover it towards the end. do remind me and poke me on that one. But let's go through your 7 days kind of thing. So there's the obligations and all this, like, you know, hey, you need to, like, do this for the show, do it for the walk, and all that kind of stuff. Was there any moment in the entire trip that, like, stood out for you besides the competition itself? Let's not talk about competition specifically yet. That was like, that made you the most nervous, or at least, or alternatively, you were the most excited for, besides the competition itself.
I think whole experience to me, I just want to thank our organizer and our supporter. Without them, we will die.
Yeah, really, really. Actually, the crew that the organizer sent who was really, really, really helpful lah. Like one of the organizer team, like both of the organizer team actually really helped us there a lot lah. So that was like a big part. And then, like, without our supporters, seriously, of course, we would feel a bit lost. I think like the stress, not stress, like, but then the slightly nervous part is really about meeting new people. And, like, you know, the first day you will kind of see like how other teams feel about things and stuff like that, like just getting to know new people in general. But everyone was really, really friendly, so there weren't really any issues. And other than that, like red carpet and all those, it's just very simple, like walking and stuff. So it wasn't really like nervous lah.
Yeah. I mean, nervous because it's normal to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was okay.
Do you think I can request for a toilet break?
Of course. Kyandy, go ahead.
Okay.
Like I'm going to just hold the fort with Rikka a little bit here,
Sure, no problem.
if it's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Rikka, like, in that case, right, let me get into one of the questions real quick, so that, like, maybe what we'll do is, like, well, we're in the middle of it, hopefully, like, it gets dragged on a little bit and Kyandy comes in to come in for a perspective along with it.
Sure.
Right, so I've got a question from Jimmy. A real question here. If you have a chance to do a giant group skit, I'm not quite sure how big giant is, but, like, if you have a chance to do a giant group skit, what would it be?
Boku Hero, that's a no-brainer.
Really? Who would you want in the group?
Deku.
You want, like, so, okay, big question here then. Who is your ideal Deku? Who would be the ideal Deku in the team? Like, would it be yourself? Do you want to pick it up yourself, or do you have somebody else in mind?
Yeah, I want to be Deku.
You want to pull up Deku on your own? Then who's going to take over your spot?
Someone else can be. Yeah, no problem. I think there's a lot of people who likes Shodo. So yeah, but if there was ever like a group skit, I would love to have a BNHA. But I'm really just saying it because I know there's a lot of commitment, and I don't want to be part of any commitment.
Kyandy, like, how, like, the question is, if you get a chance to do like a giant big group skit kind of thing, right? Like, like, what would you do? Like, for Rikka, for her straight up, it's Hero Academia. What would be yours? Would you have one? Like, is there a giant group that you want to do?
I think Naruto lah.
It'll be Naruto for you, is it? Instead?
Yeah, I mean, I like Boku no Hero, but it's Naruto is more to hit towards my childhood, right? So it's not to say that I have. I don't like Boku no Hero, but for me, Naruto feels a bit more easy to get into it lah. Yeah.
Who would you do?
Yeah, Boku no Hero recently very sad lah. Okay, for anime, so.
Who would you do? Who would you end up doing from Naruto if you ended up doing that giant group?
If I can do Sakura, of course not. Why not?
I really don't understand why she likes Sakura. I don't like Sakura, but okay, sorry.
I know she's not the best girl, but then after that, like, when she do the medical part, I'm like, oh yeah, I like her now.
You see, the
she's
thing
the
is,
smart
right,
and stupid girl.
Actually, Kyandy likes like the shorter characters, and I like the taller characters. But we always have to swap because obvious reasons. So sad. I like Sasuke. I would totally do Sasuke, but I'm obviously too short for any team to consider me to be a Sasuke.
Sasuke is such a bad father.
He's cool.
We
Sakura is
But he's good looking.
Okay.
On a side note, like because unfortunately I've only really got behind Hero Academia myself, but like would you be looking for an armored All Might, or would you prefer like
Oh
a
my God.
bodied All Might? Like, would you prefer the muscled one in your group, or would you prefer the armored All Might in your group?
I like both. I like skinny All Might and buff All Might. We can do like a transition. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
The look of horror on Kyandy's face.
No, it is. Hey, you can already imagine, right? You know, it's like, oh, come in here, skinny All Might. Then leave. Then, oh, power All Might come in. Then like, wow, it'd be so nice. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I don't even want to think about it.
Now there's a lot of silicon.
Yeah, a lot. I've seen magnificent work done by some of your Singaporean counterparts. Some of it that's sincerely made me question like my role
Are
as
they
a guy.
guys?
Like, are you? Am I? No, it's like if that is possible, am I too butch? Of all people, am I too butch?
Yeah.
you have
No,
questions. You're like, Anyways, all right. So let's come into competition day then.
Okay.
How was competition day for you guys? Like, how did it start? Like, walk us through like the day of the competition itself.
I only know that the schedule for competition was quite tight because we are actually at number 13.
I still remember.
Did we miss the first bus to the competition? I forgot. Which day is that? We missed the bus.
Yes,
Wait.
we missed the first pass.
Sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. I forgot one extra thing because I kind of remembered WCS competition having like 2 phases. One of them was like the judging for like the pre-judging, which is like them looking at your costume and stitching and all that stuff, right? So, like, was that done like day 3, day 4, that kind of thing? You mentioned that it was done across 2 days, right?
Yeah. Costume judging, because like there were, I think, a total of 37 teams our year. So we had to, they kind of split it across 2 days. So like, even though it was split across 2 days, it was still very, very packed. So like how it took place was like, they put like half of the teams to rotate for costume judging. And then the rest of the teams will be doing like a photo shooting and video shooting. And then the other half of the group will be doing the rehearsals. So then the next day it will swap the other way around. Then our costume judging was the second last actually on our day. So it was super, super, super packed because right after costume judging we have to go for a red carpet. And then the costume judging, it was very interesting because there was like a panel of judges. There were like around like 7 to 8 people inside, and then you are given like a very, very short time to present about your costumes. And then after that they will come up close to inspect about it. So like I think like we sort of mentioned it briefly on our social media, but like we tried something new. Which is we actually powered our lights with on a glove, like it's a touch sensor. So like when you fight, you press, not press, like you touch your fingers, and then the flyer will glow brighter. So things like that. And then the judges actually mentioned that it was the first time someone has ever done it in the entire WCS history. So they really liked it, and they really liked how our concept was for the costume lah. Yeah. So that was like it was, we were really happy with that lah. We were really, really, really happy to hear about it. So the costume judging was pretty cool.
So we have it on screen right now, by the way, for anyone who's curious.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was also very surprising that they really liked our wigs. Same goes for all the other contestants as well. So that was it was surprising for us because we didn't think it was like a very special thing, but they thought the idea was very cool as well. So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so our costume judging feedback was pretty good. It was very it was very good. Also to note that I think this is a big part for WCS costume judging. They are always looking for something innovative.
not necessarily expensive, innovative. So they are way impressed on me using the SFX instead of they was very impressed on my glove.
The fabric she used instead of like the expensive silicone.
Yeah, because they say like it looks like the SFX, but at the same time it helps my performance. So that you know how silicone when you stick on it, you have limited movement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were very they like little creativities, and then they like innovations. So that is very important for WCS. I feel like it's not just about like looking good. It has to have a purpose. Like that was the most like the largest takeaway that we had lah. Like the wig as well. Like it's just like, I mean, it's just like a small idea, but they just really like it. Like they like the idea of having the sparkly tinsels inside because it blended in with the whole fiery effect thing. Like to me, it was just like it was nothing to me.
It's
It was just like,
Right.
it was just like an idea, you know. So I was like, okay, just do it. Like I didn't think of it as something very major, but it received a lot of good feedback, which I was very surprised. So
Yeah. They love it. They was like, oh, it shines together when you turn on your light. It blinks everything together, and then love it. They say they call us the shiny wig.
yeah. I was
Yeah. So I think the costume judging, they really wants to know why you make it and what's the purpose for. And if your purpose is for performance, they even love it. So I think that's the key point.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So that was your session. So basically, all of this was expressed to you guys while you guys were in like that judging stage itself. You sit there and look everything, and then like they would give you feedback on the spot, or
No,
they don't give you any comments. They
so
spoke to us personally after that. They don't say anything in the room.
No time to give feedback lah. Some you can tell from the expression. They're like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, no time lah. So
Yeah,
no
time. Rush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the few days leading up to that was pretty like sort of packed for you as well. Like the two of
It
you
was
guys.
packed all the way lah.
It was packed all the way. I think we pretty much skipped dinner for almost the entire trip. It's not that we don't want to. It's just very hard to match the timing. So you have to be really smart about when you eat. Like this is a tip as well, because they do actually have like buffet spread outs for you to eat and stuff, but you have to time it right, because we never really knew when we could have dinner kind of thing or like food, so we kept missing the time. So it was a little bit like difficult to manage that part. We always end up eating konbini. I'm not complaining, the konbini food's great. So yeah.
Sorry, give me a sec.
Nope.
Got a little error stuff in there. Yeah. Okay. We really run like very much far off. Let's go really into. Let's go straight into competition day. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Was it? So you mentioned to me, like you mentioned earlier, there was stuff that you didn't manage to do, like things that you wish, like you didn't manage to pull off as well as you wish you could have. Now, through the stories that you have shared already so far, it's clear that there was stuff that you guys were trying to repair and fix up, while you were like leading up to the competition, the show day itself. Was any of this like damage from the trip, or is there stuff that you were you guys just trying to like up your game even more, or stuff that you couldn't prepare in time? What was that?
So we definitely had damage from the trip. So I think like I was a bit overconfident with like packing stuff lah. So I didn't really like wrap all the individual foam parts together properly. So when it was inside the bag, some of the pieces actually stuck together.
Ouch.
Yeah, so and you know, like with paint stuff, when you split it open, it's bound to a bit. So I had to redo that a bit for the costume judging. But the bigger problem was really the performance time lah. So what we really did not expect is, because during our practice, our aircon's always like full blast. It's really cool. But in Japan, it was really, really hot. Like first, the weather is hot. second, when we are at the competition venue, the place isn't that cold. It's actually a little bit stuffy and it's quite warm. So our lights are actually very, very high voltage lights. So it's very hot.
Oh,
So when we perform, before you go on stage, you will turn it on, right? Because
Right.
you want to prep and make sure everything is okay.
Yeah.
So that was exactly what we did. So, but when we went on stage, guess what? Our hot glue melted.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we did not expect. We really did not expect. So the thing is like when we started performing and our
Yeah.
thing fell, naturally like you'll be like fuck, and we continued, but I became very stiff because I was really worried about the other things falling.
Yeah.
So
You get distracted with the whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, so it affected my performance, of course. And we were really surprised like why it happened. We had no idea because we tested it, it was okay. Then when we went backstage, only we noticed the hot glue melted.
Shit.
So yeah, that I just and it so happened like actually like my Singaporean friend, like one of the past representative also gave me a tip before. He told me like before you go for performance, make sure you duct tape, make sure you cello tape, make sure you tape everything. But I forgot about it.
Ouch.
So I should have done that. I really should have done that. That this would have happened. But yeah, it slipped my mind lah.
By the way, as a small heads up on that note, right? Duct tape melts as well.
I mean, at least it's better than nothing lah. Like it's a double layer.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's bad advice. I'm just saying that if you're going to do it, keep in mind that duct tape melts as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I think to me, when we play with electronics, there's so many stressful things.
Yeah, you need
on.
to expect so much bumps.
Yeah. And for electronics, we prepare so many backup and even so many backup. The day before we fly to Japan, we also fuck up because
Oh shit.
like it's and then you turn on and then it just burn off the whole Arduino and then you just like, did I need to solder the whole thing again? And we did it within the night. What happened? We reached there. We are still so PTSD for the electronics. But I think what makes what the whole thing issue is our performance where the things drop, not our electronics, because we really bring a lot of backup. We try our best to make sure our electronic works, and it works.
But it was
not the other things.
the things that we projected to happen, we had backups. But the things that we did not project to happen, so it was like, really so stressful lah. Like even Kyandy's code as well, like the ladder stuck together. So it ripped as well. And like this one, I actually brought extra ladder for another, like one of the other costumes for the Osu Parade one. And I was just like, oh my god, like it wasn't intended for this. I didn't expect this to happen, but thankfully we had a backup and it worked. Like really like, wow, but you just need to be prepared for a lot of problem solving on the spot lah. That's all.
Yeah, they have like sewing machine for promoting brothers, but I use it to fix my code.
Hey, it's promotion, man.
I'm like,
as far as I'm concerned, that's promotion, man. Like that's like making a point, right? It's like, hey, if you needed a reason to use a brother sewing machine, sponsor by here. Like if you needed a reason to use a brother sewing machine, that would be it. That'd be a great moment for it, right?
More advertisement.
Yeah, more advertisements, man. Brothers, keep sponsoring. Like add your sponsorship to this channel as well.
Wow.
Yeah, very happy. Not just we use, also a lot of team use them. We're like,
Yes, eh? This is probably why Brothers has probably been one of the oldest sponsors for like WCS. Like they have been sponsoring since like back.
Yeah, you're right.
God knows how long.
Like,
it is. Yeah.
Well, okay. Anyways, we are hitting 11:30 already. I want to end tonight with. I've already taken a lot more of your time. I have actually personally, I have more questions I wanted to ask. There's stuff that I wanted to go over, things like even the scoring, like your experiences and your thoughts with the scoring and everything else. But like this is really well extended beyond the normal time that we agreed with already. So let me just end with two questions from other people that some people have asked before. Some people have posted up before. One that was brought up earlier during the stream. I just want to bring it back up again. real quick, Uso Usaida asked earlier, because we were talking about your experiences cosplaying in UK and all that. One of the interesting questions he was asking was like, what are the good vibes you feel that we can adapt from the Western ACG community? Is there anything that you feel like nice stuff that we could have picked up from our Western counterparts? Is there anything that you can recall, or is everything here like there's no big difference, or the stuff here is just generally actually better?
I think there's no big difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then again, we only went for a while, so it's a bit hard.
Yeah. Personally, if you're at a community being community lah, like I feel WCS is a miracle. Like we get to be so happy. Maybe it's only our point of view. Again, this Discord is about our point of view. We are very happy with all the other team representatives being so helpful, so friendly, and they are so amazing and really lovely, right? But again, if you go other country, we always heard about toxic comment as well. So it's very hard to comment about the community in other country as well. So, it's just a human nature, right?
Right. I mean, like, people are going to be people, right? And it's going to be very difficult to take your experiences from one moment and extrapolate that to the whole scene, considering like how little, like you've only been to like a small handful of events in the West.
Yeah.
But on that note, I just want to ask real quick as well. Like, did you feel at any time while you were in WCS, right, like intimidated by the contestants, like all the overseas contestants, or do you feel like pressured, like beyond the pressure to perform yourselves, right? Because you said it yourself, that you felt like you wanted to perform because you were Malaysian representatives and all that. But like besides that, do you feel external pressures from like the other contestants? Do you feel intimidated from the other contestants and all that? Was there any time that pressure got to you while you were in WCS?
I think we admire them instead of get intimidated.
I was very impressed. Like I was really more impressed. Like I wish I could do something of that scale, and I wish and they were very friendly and willing to share. So that was like really a very nice environment lah. So I didn't feel the pressure like I need to. I didn't lah. Like we know for a fact like we really did our best going there, and I feel like we achieved what we could lah, and I don't think we looked bad or anything, so I think it was okay. It was okay, so we didn't feel so bad about things, I guess. Like I mean, obviously we are like not the best, and there's really a lot of very talented individuals, and of course I would say like, you know, like to be honest, like if we were to class it, we'll probably be like one of the slightly lower ones, like performance wise. I mean, I'm just being honest. But then
maybe performance wise,
where do you think you guys can do better? Like, is there anything in particular like you really want to do better at?
The performance.
No, be more specific. Like more specifically, is there any specific aspect of the performance that you feel like, oh, this is one thing that I really want to shiny up more than anything else?
I really feel it.
No, I think overall, if
okay, like
go ahead.
I think the whole thing need to be to rethink about it lah. Like as a performance, you always need to think from the audience perspective and judges perspective, right? What you want to convey. So if you came up with this performance, even we fix it right now, we can think about it, right? I don't know where we can go to lah. So personally, now if you ask me, I would change the whole performance if I can. But I don't know what will I change to. I just felt like we needed to bump up something. If we really have needed to do this costume and this skit again, then that will be my thing lah. But if you give me a better choice, I think I won't go with this costume again. I'm so tired.
Yeah, we're so tired of wearing it, man. Like we really at one point we just don't want to look at it anymore. But like for me, I wished, like for me, how I felt was like I felt like we didn't complete it. We didn't complete this. Like it's because we had that mistake on stage, you know, the performance mistake, and I felt like it didn't really show what we wanted to execute, you know, behind the scenes. Like, well, like I mean, yes, you get a gist of it, you can see part of it, but I really wish it was done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not asking for 100%, maybe like a 90%. So I'm a little bummed out by it lah. Like I'm not sad or what. It's just that if like I just felt like like I it would have been nice if we really executed it at least to a 90%. Like there was no stuff falling and shit like this. Then it's like a very nice closure. But for me, it's like I feel a bit like slightly hanging, like not like hanging at the neck lah, but like slightly hanging, like dangling a bit lah, like so sian eh, like yeah, kind of thing. So actually I did ask Kyandy, like, you know, just feel like we should perform this again just so that we can get a closure. And she's like, why the fuck?
I mean, I get what Rikka asking for lah, but then also, yeah lah, I definitely tired in some sense lah. Like, it's not to say I don't think Rikka can perform better or worse or, you know, anything. I trust her, you know. It's the timing that we need to get together and how we want to do it. We never do something that is 10% only, you know. Every time you want to do new things, is always we put in 90 to 100%, and it's not like small effort. Always is a lot of effort.
Yes, we have this issue. We don't know how to manage it ourselves. So we always burn out a bit lah. Like we tend to have that problem lah.
Yeah, but other than that, if she really want to do it, I'm on lah, definitely. Oh yeah. Sure.
All right. Okay. Final question of the night. We're finally here. I do want to ask, like, what are your mutual dream projects at this point? Like, is there something that both of you guys would like to do now that WCS is behind you? Are you guys planning to making plans for to re-enter sometime in the future? Are you guys practicing, prepping up and all that kind of stuff? Or is it like, oh, there is this giant skit that I want to do? What's the next things for you guys, for the two of you?
I'm so old, I'm tired.
Still too early to think about it.
I think we got 3 years cooldown period, right?
Is it 3 years?
Who BB?
2 ah? Yeah. Other representatives were saying that see you next.
Yeah, we actually made some friends and some of them are really nice. Yeah, like I think we can call them friends. Like yeah, they did say like, hey, see you in 2 years. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like they did say like, hey, you know, like we should totally do this again, stuff like that. So it's nice lah. Yeah, but we did kind of like say like, now that we kind of know a little bit of how things goes around, we did kind of say like, oh, maybe we want to do our Conan skit again.
Yeah, not just Conan skit. I think we have few more skits that we came up. We actually came up one of the good skit, and then we noticed that past WCS also brought up the similar skit, you know, similar skit.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's change it.
Yeah. And we're really glad we did lah. So because like otherwise it'll be really awkward lah. Cause you know sometimes with the thing with anime is that you can't really change it a lot because the storyline is there. Yeah. So it's pretty much the same. So yeah. But I like really not gonna lie, like after WCS Japan, I really felt I didn't want to handcraft anything for a while lah. It was really, really tiring lah. Like seriously felt like I spent like 2 fucking years like non-stop doing thing eh. So tired eh.
Side note, I think that's the first F-bomb we've had for the whole night.
No, I had 3 already.
Oh, you kept count.
Yeah. But yeah. And like I still haven't finished up our courtesy visit. We actually still have a few costumes that we are meant to complete.
Right.
That were supposed to be for WCS, but obviously we cannot finish. And then we changed like last minute to other stuff and things like that. But we still have like 2 costumes that we need to finish lah.
I think WCS is really tiring. All competition overall is really tiring.
Yeah,
and it's not just tiring to the physical. I think it's tiring mentally as well.
Yeah. I so like, the fact is like a long time ago. Like WCS has been around for a while, so even as organizers, when I was active, me and my friends, we were looking at WCS. In fact, the cosplay invitational that we did a long time ago,
Yeah, why don't you guys do that anymore? That was quite nice.
I'm not part of the team anymore, so these days.
Okay.
So I'm not really in my power to really do that much. It is
Yeah.
something that I wish the team would continue doing, but like the reasons why it's beyond me right now. Yeah. Personally,
Aw,
I but personally, I felt what like there are so many things like I was talking. I mentioned like judging like scoring criteria and stuff like that, right? Like an interesting thing was like earlier days when me and my friends were looking at WCS, we heard like WCS's judging criteria used to be like 70% costume and 30% skit, that kind of separation. And we were like, oh, but like internally for us, we were like, oh, we don't want to do that. We wanted to split it 50-50. And then through the years between like CF and Anycom and all that, like this 45-45 or 40-40-20 way of scoring eventually evolved. Have you heard of the 40-40-20?
Yeah, I think so. I think I still see it around sometimes. Yeah.
So like the 40-40-20 is like sort of like 20 is sort of almost bonus score kind of thing, like different miscellaneous criteria. And it's 40 is costume, 40 is like portrayal kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean.
Yeah, so that's the old 40-40-20 kind of thing. But anyway, I don't want to digress anymore. I've taken up enough of your time. Girls, thank you so much for spending so much of your precious time. I know this is time that you could have spent like preparing for your next skit, planning out your next thing. You've already spent like, what, 2.5 hours with me already.
No, man, I will be sleeping if. Yeah,
on top of that, your beauty sleep, right? So like I should feel even more guilty for that.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, no. Our intention is not to make you guilty.
I know, I'm just teasing. I'm just playing around. But in any case, everyone, if you guys like what Kyandy and Rikka has been doing, if you guys are supporters of their work and all their stuff, their socials are available in the description below. Please go give them some love. As for me, like if you like what this channel is doing and all these kind of shows, please like and subscribe. Funnily enough, I have not actually set that line for like the last 4 or 5 sessions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I keep saying that I should do it. I just keep forgetting to do it. So right now, like I'm still not hit 100 people on like this whole thing, but I feel like, hey, these conversations need to continue. There's a lot of meaningful history behind all this, and a lot of meaningful stories for anyone who's interested. So yeah. Anyways. So yeah. So I hope to see everyone again. Maybe another time I'll get a chance to sit down and talk to you guys more about like judging for cosplay competitions as well. We never got to get into that. I feel really bad.
Yeah, if you want to go like part 2, we can.
Yeah, we can always schedule in another night. Definitely.
For like 2 hours.
Yeah, we can definitely schedule in another night, which I totally don't mind.
I will take you up on that another time. Anyways, all right, so that's it for us for tonight. Thank you guys very much for staying for as long as you have. If you've been watching from the start, have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Good night,
Thanks everyone. Thanks Jet.
And Panini for staying the whole time, I think.
Yeah, it's really whole time.
Like everyone's
I think
so
Jet stayed the whole time. I think Panini also.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Your fans are fantastic. Thank you guys very much.
Probably not my fans, but yay.
Thanks, guys. Good night. Thank you, Jared. Thank you for.